Chill. I'm back in my bag on this one, man. Look, live life, my people never seen life. Seems like we just living trying to get right. Dreams like I could boss up the street life, but these visions fall short when living in the street life. Every day we wake up, we live in constant fears, treading in the same waters we done tread for years. Shot down in the streets, we used to hang from trees. It's 2024, we still trust our enemies. George Floyd and Amari, just another case that God used to put our enemies in our face. But we don't listen, no. With some simple Joes, the scripture says 2/3 of us gotta go. Fighting for my people, you out here begging for justice. Kings of the earth, no business begging for nothing. Hands up, don't shoot, I'm disgusted. Elijah called fire from the heavens with the sons of the prophets.
Been struggling a lifetime, looking for the lifetime where I'm your ass cold. Been working day and night now, and it's feeling like Pharaoh won't let me go. Been searching my whole lifetime, looking for that lifetime, cause God told me so. I know Christ is coming back down, but at what exact time, well, I just don't know.
Stockholm Syndrome, niggas love the oppressor. Your brother's telling you the truth, but you too proud to accept it. The white man's your enemy, boy, you're quick to reject it, but get some beef with your brother. Go to war with no question, willing to die for my section. I was rolling the dice, I heard the words of the prophets, now I'm rolling with Christ. Seen the visions of my fathers written on these scrolls, and how we would suffer the curses. Prophecies unfold, look at the lies we've been told. We're more precious than gold, handpicked by the Most High God for this glow. Murder after murder, blood soaked in the soil. Their hatred for me and you runs deeper than oil. Hold themselves not guilty with the proof that they did it, and live life by the sword. That's the gift they were given. Our judgment for sinning. We're supposed to be winning, but our people keep dying by the hands of the enemies.
Been struggling a lifetime, looking for the lifetime where I'm your ass cold. Been working day and night now, and it's feeling like Pharaoh won't let me go. Been searching my whole lifetime, looking for that lifetime, cause God told me so. I know Christ is coming back down, but at what exact time, well, I just don't know.
Put your life on the line for this country you serve, then come back with accolades to lose your life on the curb. What's a life in the burbs? What's a life on the hills? What's life if we don't know that we're the children of Israel? 400 years of slavery, still rise to the top. Cut from a different cloth, with a cream of the crop. Built different, God's image, unbreakable spirits. The shepherds calling for the sheep, but 2/3 can't hear it. Quick to rally and protest when we're shot by police. But when it's black on black crime, niggas mute and can't speak. What kind of justice you seek? This is just for the meek. God's punishment on us for all the laws that we break. The riot and the looting ain't the answer to our problems. That reflection in the mirror, we're the only ones can solve it. Vengeance is of the Lord, pray, watch, and repent. Our enemies will beg for mercy sooner than we think.
Been struggling a lifetime, looking for the lifetime where I'm your ass cold. Been working day and night now, and it's feeling like Pharaoh won't let me go. Been searching my whole lifetime, looking for that lifetime, cause God told me so. I know Christ is coming back down, but at what exact time, well, I just don't know.
Met some years ago, you were meant for me. Even my mom thinks so. We've been through ups and downs, but you kept your ground. We so in love. I want you to know how much that I care. When I'm going through with you, always there. You took my hands and never let go. You trust me to lead, and in me you believed. And every step I take, you would be right there. You always had my back, held it down like foam flats. And every move I made, you're never in the way. That's when I heard her say, I will follow you. Oh, no, 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 no. I will follow you. Hey. Yes, I will follow you. No. Lord, I will follow you. I will follow you. I will follow you. No turning back from this. Forever starts right here. She be my ride today we die, yeah. What God had put together, let no man put asunder. That's how we live right, 'cause the head of woman is man. Girl, I will lead you the best that I can. You took my hands and never let go. Trust and believe that I fight for the kingdom. Every step I take, you would be right there. You always had my back, held it down like foam flats. And every move I made, you've been there all along. That's why I wrote this song. I will follow you. That's right, that's right, that's what she said. I will follow you. Follow me through thick and thin, anywhere we gonna win. I will follow you. She gotta run. I will follow you. Not for you, yeah. No. I will follow you. She's there through thick or thin. She holds it down like a real supposed to. And I'll supply all her needs and give her my love and all that I got. I got, yeah. Oh, she said, I will follow you. Yeah, she Yeah, yeah, yeah. Flex on and you a star. You're the one raised in a bar. Pull up on the haters on a block, made a top drop in your spaceship, not a car. Hey, everybody know you a star. You the one raised in a bar. Hey, yeah. Pull up on the haters on a block, made a top drop in your spaceship, not a car. Hey, everybody know. Hey, you put in work. I know the enemy's trying to do you hurt. Can't sleep in a time when you frozen. Your friend be plotting, now you gotta stay alert. You're the best, so you know what you work. You ain't slipping, no, I see your game turn. Did a lot, you done changed and upgrade, and you turn another page. You ain't trying to revert.
It's that time again. Yeah. Ya es la hora. You know, power hour. Ponle atención, class is in session. Tune in for an hour, maybe more, that's a blessing. Learn from the captains and the leadership. Flee from religion, cause them churches never teaching everything you learn for your benefit. Line upon line is a requisite. Never take a deficit, yeah. That mean you take a loss if you stray from the way. You get the understanding if you study every day. Apply what you learn and bless when you pray. There's one interpretation, man, it's say what it say. Ya viene el tiempo, entra para el templo. Aprende del maestro con talento. La Biblia es el centro, usando a Israel como instrumento. No te pierdas en doctrina como viento. Estudia y ora y aplica. Tiempo para Dios, ven, hace una cita. Escritura dinamita, morenos y hispanos israelitas. Oye cómo explica Israel unido en Cristo para la vida. Nunca se divida. And it's the power hour. Learn your family history, don't be a coward. Yeah, tune in, it's the power hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the power hour. The 11th hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't no history. Power hour. The 11th hour. You know it to history. 11th hour. Power hour.
We are on, I see,
Yes, we are.
because everything went off.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's the light. You know, in the room where the light comes on and you're in a dark room and it comes on, you're like, I guess it's showtime.
Yeah, I guess.
You got the on air light.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So this is the Power Hour Plus.
Yeah.
I am Officer Job.
Officer Benson.
I mean, hey, I guess I'm Officer Rouvain. Who are you?
Tobias. Benson out the booth.
Benson out the booth.
Hold on.
Benson let loose.
Benson let loose out the booth. Claude, have mercy.
You might be wondering, like,
Wait a minute.
We got a
Already
Benson
a-
bell.
Wait a minute. What's happening right
bell
now?
going on
The
right
Benson
here.
bell?
What happened?
I don't know what's going
Did you
on.
hit the bell?
I didn't hit the bell.
He didn't
he
take
got
the bell with him.
Hey, he got
I
the
didn't hit
mobile
the bell.
bill out here.
Dang. You got the Bluetooth bell.
You know, I had some people tell me that when Deacon said that the bell sounds exciting, it really does sound exciting.
It does.
It just sounds like a bell to me. I get in where I fit in, bro. But I guess, multiple people saying it.
All right, all praises. Hey, so let us know where y'all are tuning in from in the chat. Let us know. Take it away, Officer Job.
Hey, man. Yes, I am Officer Job. And we are here on the Power Hour. And you might be wondering, what happened to Deke? You might be wondering that, right?
Right.
What happened to Deke? Well, the Spirit of the Lord, well, Deke's busy. Deke's busy
Doing the work.
doing the work.
Mhm.
The Lord.
And the Most High put a seed in his head to say, Officer Job, you're going to take the lead.
Keep the party going.
Now tell me, ask me, what went through my mind when he said that?
Officer Job, what went through your mind when Deke said, "Hey, yeah, Job, Job can run the show. Go ahead."
Oh, you talking to me? What went through my mind was, the first thing was, all praises to the Most High. Only he knows when you're ready.
Right.
Because sometimes you may not know, or you may have doubts, or you may have fear.
Right, right.
But I was like, know what? The Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear.
No spirit of
all
fear.
Praises to the Most High.
That's
Let's
it.
do this.
Yeah.
Do it.
Let's do this.
All
and,
right.
you know, we've been on the whole, for the past couple weeks, the people that likes to say Latinos or Northern Kingdom are not Israelites.
Right, because we don't use Hispanic anymore.
We don't use Hispanic.
Mm-mm.
Actually, we got this. The spirit of Deke is still here. Don't get
Okay.
it twisted.
All right, there he go.
Don't get it
Wake
twisted.
him up.
Do not get it twisted. The spirit of Deke and Joshua is still here.
Wake him up.
Hey, IT. Did I send you? Bury me.
So while you doing that, I'm
Yeah,
gonna read
go
off some of the
ahead.
places where our people tuning in from. We got Arkansas in the house, North Kakalaki, Baton Rouge,
Run that last one back. North what?
Kakalaki. See you're from here.
Yeah,
You're
I
not
just-
from
okay.
that side. So you.
That's
It's
why we
okay.
need subtitles, y'all.
It's okay. Okay, right.
Bruh.
Kakalaki. We got Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Who we got? North Augusta, DC in the house. I thought I saw we got the NO in the house. Oakland, Delaware. Can you spell Delaware?
DE.
Okay, so we got San Leandro, California. AZ always up in here. Gastonia. All right, all praises. Shout out to Bishop Yawasop. We got Idaho. We got people in Idaho. I ain't even never heard of. Wait, I can't even spell Idaho. Hold on now. Nampa, Idaho. Okay, all praises. Who else we got? Let's see. We got Philly, Mississippi. There go that North Kakalaki one more again. And Queens, New York. Oh, we got somebody from South Africa up in here. That's what's up. So check this out. Let me get that sin of the day, man. What you got?
Tobacco vanilla.
Tobacco vanilla.
Tobacco vanilla.
I like it.
That's fine.
It's spicy. It's manly. Right? Benson, what you rolling with today?
Classic barbershop.
You got the classic barbershop?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
okay.
that's been my scent for a while now. It's what I'm kind of stuck on right now.
Okay. All praises.
It's a staple.
Officer Job, you
I got the Cuban.
see.
The Cuban beat.
Well, it's cognac and Cuban.
Okay, I just
Cognac and
Okay.
Cuban.
I just wanted to. Okay.
Right.
Cognac and Cuban.
All right, and I'm also rocking that cognac and Cuban.
Mm.
Right, it's a staple.
I can
Two are
tell
better
the
than
sin
one.
is real strong.
It's strong. It's manly
Mm-hmm.
for my badge of dignity. You feel me?
I feel
Did
it.
you catch?
I see what you did.
You did you
I see
did you
what
catch
you
that?
did.
Hey,
What sense? Hey,
Uh-huh.
that's the crowd. What sense do they got?
yeah.
right
Hey,
now?
that's a real talk though.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's-
let us
let's see
know
what's- yeah.
what scent of the night you rocking, brothers. What's happening in the comments right now?
I don't want to see no sisters posting nothing.
Oh man.
Or actually,
Okay.
the sisters can post
Yeah.
what they bought their Lord.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's true.
all right,
Sisters
see?
be in the
I
spirit.
stand
Okay,
corrected.
all right.
I stand corrected. I
So
stand corrected.
sisters, if you bought your Lord some manly badge of dignity, post up what you bought him.
I'm with it. And
Hey.
while they doing that, go ahead and post up that advertisement. Let's get it going. Cause as y'all know, Original Royalty is undergoing a clearance sale. We gotta clear out all of last year's merchandise to make room for all the new swag and everything and apparel we got. Cause it's a lot of stuff. Go ahead and roll that. Hey, check this out. Tabernacles is right around the corner. As soon as Passover is over, I know we got Pentecost. We definitely got the Day of Atonement. You got the men's conference coming up, but those things be coming by so fast, and it's already time for Tabernacle. So check this out. Go ahead, support your black and brown owned business, originalroyalty.com. Get your pullovers, get your hoodies, get your apparel for up to 80% off. Let's get this stuff off the shelves so we can come on with that new thing. You feel me?
Hey, just so y'all know too, like this sale is legit. I just bought a few things off of there. I
Mhm.
got
What you get?
I had to get some new beard shampoo first off.
Right.
That's not on the clearance.
Right,
but
right.
The clearance. I'm a coffee guy,
Oh, you got one of the mugs?
and I bought the purple mug at Passover.
Okay.
But I never got the black one. But it's on clearance now. It's like $12,
Man,
if that. So, brothers, sisters, go.
that's
grab
20
some.
years strong right there.
20 years strong.
Straight up. Well, hey, do you support black businesses?
You know it.
Okay, so what you get from the clearance sale?
I haven't got none.
Damn.
You see how I set them up? Did you catch?
Yeah, I haven't been on there.
So
yet.
you have to know who you labor amongst.
But to be fair, it's not over till it's over.
What that mean, bro?
He that
Yeah,
endureth
what
to
is
the end, right? You know, so sometimes you even got those that come in at the 11th hour.
No, see,
damn.
but see, here it is though. But the ending might come like a thief in the night.
This is true. So what he's saying
So what I'm saying is, while you procrastinating, thinking that you got all day, that clearance sale will be here and gone before you know it.
Damn.
And then what's your excuse gonna be?
Scripture say the horse is prepared.
A horse is prepared for battle. What's happening?
I'm gonna have to hit the site.
Cloud have mercy. Officer Joe, what you got?
I haven't got nothing either. But I'm gonna plan on getting some.
Okay, all
you
praises.
know.
There's still a lot
Just
of
got
stuff
back
in there.
from, got into that Drain My account.
Cloud have mercy.
Be like that.
I had to make educated decisions,
Mhm.
executive decisions, and traveling abroad was my choice.
I got you.
But I will replenish. No excuses.
Understood. What you got on the topic tonight, Officer Joe? I heard it's about to be a fire topic you going over too.
What is the title? Hey, y'all put it up.
The title is The Power Hour Plus, Mormonism's Violent Past and Its Impact on Native and Latino Communities.
Cloud have mercy.
About to expose the Mormons.
Yeah. I like the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to give what it's really going to go into. It's kind of giving an idea of what's going to go into, but it's not really giving it that. But
All
we're
right.
We're about to expose that, though. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to expose that. First of all, let's play that video.
Roll that thing.
The deacon. I sent it on the page. Because I said the spirit of deacon is still in his.
Come on, IT.
And we got that short. Y'all just had it up there.
Going into Latino. So y'all, brothers and sisters, listen up real closely. Listen up real closely. Something that Deke put out a couple weeks ago about Hispanics and Latinos and the difference. All right.
There's two sides to the same coin, so to speak, of thought when it comes to Northern Kingdom, so-called Latinos, right? And remember, brothers, Latinos, not Hispanics. Hispanic means Spanish-speaking, and you can be from everywhere. Latinos goes into people that are in the region, that are from that region and have the origins there, right? It also traces back to Latinos under the Spanish rule, which were Hebrew, Moorish, like they called them. It was, Latino was not it was a pejorative for Israelites, all right? And if you don't know what pejorative means, it was a negative word. It was a proverb, a byword, like you read in Deuteronomy 28:37.
So I had to start it off with that, just to show that, this is something water rising in the sense of the terminology that we use.
Right.
And, in the street teaching, catching ourselves to use Hispanic and using Latinos,
So he said Latinos was a pejorative, right? Of Latinos, which meant Israelites. So does that mean Latino mean nigga? That's what it sounds like.
Northern Kingdom, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
in the
Let us know in the comments if that's what that means. Cause you say Negro, that mean nigga. You say African American, it's the same thing.
Right.
All right, what you got?
Did they respond?
They coming through.
All
I
right,
see
so
one that says yes, it does.
Okay.
it does?
Mhm.
Obi, of course.
Oh, gosh.
This
All right.
guy.
So, what's the title again?
The Power Hour Plus: Mormonism's violent past and its impact on Native and Latino communities.
So how many of us seen Primeville, America? Is it America Primeville or Primeville, America?
It's
American
America.
Primeville. How many of us
Primeval.
seen that?
Primeval.
Yeah, I haven't
Evil.
seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
This is what sparked this clash when I saw this.
Okay.
Because everyone looks at the Mormons as
Docile.
The Mormons
Mhm.
docile,
Riding horses
harmless.
everywhere.
Right.
riding
Butter
horses,
churning.
They got
Right. Butter churning.
a bunch of
Big Love
children.
HBO specials.
Right.
Uh-huh.
They're just soft. Okay. But what's the scripture? Let's get that precept. The truth will spring from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in Psalms. The truth will spring from the earth, because a lot of times we know who owns the TV shows, the movies, all that. It's the Jews, the Jewish.
It's a lot of juice.
The Jewish people own that. But sometimes you would wonder, like, why do they put certain things out there that exposes certain truths that they try to hide forever?
Right.
Because of this. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 85 and verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
So truth will spring from the earth. The things that they try to hide in the earth, the things that they try to bury to keep us from seeing or having knowledge of,
Mm-hmm.
the Most High is going to reveal it. It's going to come out. It's going to come out in many different forms.
Right.
Movies, shows, another nation or a man or woman spurting out things
Mm-hmm.
that they probably was like afterwards, like, did I just say that? Or someone in the office was like, bro, did you realize you just did that? He's like, oh, I did that?
Yeah.
Because the Most High, at the end of the day, controls everything. So the truth will spring out. So when I watch this movie or this show as a series, it caught my attention on these damn B words, the Mormons.
Funky ass.
Bastards. This is in the Bible.
Yeah, you can say it. You can say bastard.
Damn bastards, the Mormons that's been hiding forever. And when we look at Utah, guess what we think?
Mormons.
Utah's a Mormon state, right?
Mhm.
So we're going to go into that. We're going to touch that. You got something? All right, so let's get the video. Let's get the video. We'll start off with the video. And this is going to be geared towards those people. Give me the up on that nag real quick. This is going to be geared towards these people. Actually, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a disclaimer too. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me, my people.
Hey, and while he's getting it, let's get these likes up. We're at 47 likes, y'all, and we do.
That's
lot
crazy
better
right
than
there.
that
Dang.
every week, y'all. Let's get this up. All right, let's get the likes up.
It shows 117 on my side.
Yeah, let me refresh.
Yeah.
Could be me.
Claw have mercy.
But they still low. We got 165
Right,
watching.
right.
So still, get them up. Get them up. Get them up.
Don't forget to share this broadcast too, all right? We're a little low on attendees at the moment, but you know how people, black people,
Mm-hmm.
they just slide to the left, slide in all late.
That's why they need slides. So they don't be slipping.
I mean, I guess I set myself up for that.
Got him.
No, no.
Yeah, baby, we
All
live.
right, I'm going to send this. IT, let me know when you get it.
They said somebody's mic is low. Whose mic?
Yeah,
is
whose
low?
mic is
mic?
low? Let us know. All right.
All praises to the Most High.
And
IT,
go.
when you get that, let's put that up. It's going to be this is for all those people or men and women that says Northern Kingdom is not Israel. They're not of the Israelites of Israel. They're not part of the 12 tribe sign. So, we're going to take you for a grain of salt. But there's a cap amongst us that's going to explain it very well. Go ahead and play that. Take that off. Can you hear me?
We're going to stop this one and pull up the one he asked for.
The one that I just sent.
Yep.
Never argue or debate an apologist. Because if you do, you end up dealing with a pigeon. A pigeon, look at him. He thinks he's winning. He'll just strut his head around. That's what it's like arguing with an apologist. They always run from the point. They never get to the point. They avoid all the details. Hey, give me a scripture. No scripture is going to come out. And guess what? He thinks that he won. Never argue with an apologist. They're like pigeons. See, never argue with...
Freaking love
funny.
that short.
It's hilarious.
So-
Yo, Cat be trolling on another level.
No,
bro.
he do. He do.
So we're not gonna. This is not to argue with. If you're one of those, if you're the pigeon, the apologist on this, apologetic on this channel, and you're here to cause strife, you want to scoff, you can kick rocks.
Yeah, don't be a pigeon apologist.
We don't want to mess with pigeons. At the end of the day, there's plenty of leaderships from bishops all the way down that brought up that have a lot of proof of the Israelites also being Northern Kingdom, the Hispanic so-called Latinos,
Right.
and Native Americans. Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's
Right.
right.
All right.
That's right.
So we're gonna get into this now. So let's get that. Let's start off with this too. I just want to just throw these out here because to show you the mindset behind you saying that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The white supremacists. This is what I'm telling you. The spirit of Deke is here. Because I remember when he said that, I was like, "Yo, that's so deep." Having that mindset, saying that the Latinos is not part of Israel.
Mhm.
That's that white supremacy mindset.
Right.
Right? So they look like this when I hear that. Play that, the nag.
In front of Manini.
Hello, Stephen, my boy.
Yeah. Hello, my ass. Who this nigga up on that nag?
Oh, Stephen, you have nails for breakfast. What's the matter? Why you so ornery? You miss me, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss slop, like a baby miss mammy titty. I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe. Now, I ask you, who this nigga on that nag?
Hey, Snowball. Want to know my name or the name of my horse? You ask me.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I'll snatch your black ass off that nag down here in the mud so fast make your head
Stephen. Let's keep it funny. Django here is a freeman.
All right. So
This nigga here?
I had to put that out there because that's what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
They look like him. Hey,
Act
his
like him.
Latinos, you are the Israelites. Nah, Latinos are not the Israelites. They have their own land. That's what I heard. They have their own place that they could go back to, etc. But they fail to realize that the motherland is what? Let's get that.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Galatians.
Galatians 4:26.
The motherland is Jerusalem. We're gonna read it out the Bible. This is where the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans is originally from. So we're at the end of the day, we're not really all in our original land.
That part.
All right.
We're pilgrims.
So that statement of they have their own land out the window. Read that.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Read that one more time.
But Jerusalem,
which is in Africa. Read.
Which is above is free, which is the mother of us all.
It's the mother of us all. We all come from there. So get that out of your head, right? So now, let's go. We're about to get into it now. We're going to go into these Mormons. Let's play that video where I have all those timestamps. Starting with the first timestamp. It's the, right here, the dark truth about. Dark truth. Yup. And start at 4:58. Go ahead.
Native American tribes like the Paiutes, the Shoshone, and the Ute, who had lived on this land for generations. Even the name Utah is named after the tribe Ute. It's named in their...
Who knew that? I ain't know that.
I didn't know that.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Think about the different states, schools, towns, roads. When you look at their names a lot of times, you be like, how you pronounce that? Right. It's because it was named after mostly Native Americans all over the country.
Facts. Everywhere almost.
Everywhere almost,
Latino
right?
names, all of that, man. All right, praise. So, so Utah come from the Ute people, which are Israelites from the tribe of either Gad or Reuben.
That's it.
Right? Play.
Honor. And so the Mormons tried to build uneasy alliances with the Native American tribes, trading with them, even attempting to convert them. But there was also competition for resources and mistrust on both sides. And these relationships were fragile at best. All of these different factors built up and created a very tense.
So I wanted to start off with that to show first who was there and the tribe that was there and who came there after. Before we play on, we're gonna go back and forth on this one. Get one of the screenshots of the colonization of Patut. If I said that right. Yes.
Hey, you gotta pronounce this how Captain Yuri was going through all of those names on the Sabbath. So you gotta come with it.
So, you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
The colonization of Patut. Where is it at?
I'm sorry. How's that Patut? That's Paut.
Paut.
Thank you.
Paut lands began in the mid-1800s, primarily through the arrival of Mormon settlers in the 1850s. While initial relations were sometimes peaceful, the settlers' presence disrupted Paiute traditional ways of life.
Now, I want y'all to really, I'm going somewhere with this. I want y'all to focus on the words. That's one thing that Bishop Yabasa always says, the words. They be lying in the words that they use. It said, were sometime peaceful. Do you think it was any peace between?
The scriptures say there was absolutely no
peace.
At any time.
Get that in Psalms.
50.
50. Because this is how they came, and the reason why I got these years is gonna show you how it was 55. Before they came, and how it's gonna be after they came. So, because when you watch that show, American
Prime
Evil, when you watch that show, you're gonna see, and you're gonna see it in this video too. You're gonna see that Gad or Reuben is fighting along the side of these Mormons.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's where I was like, why are they fighting with them? Wait a minute. But something had to happen first before they was able to fight with them or for them. And this is what we're going to show right here. All right? So let's read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother.
Start at 20.
Verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
So look, when he first started off, right, because the quote-unquote settlers, I'm going to call them the invaders, the colonizers came in, and they trying to get a lay of the land. They know it's another people here. And remember, this people is wiser than Daniel.
Right.
They know that they can't just come with brute force out the gate. So they have to come up with a seemingly peaceful solution to infiltrate and annihilate. Go ahead.
To deal wisely.
Deal wisely. That's right.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
So this peace, of course, they're going to come. They're new. They're new to the area. They're going to come in this peaceful way. Because at this time, what we're going to talk about later, they were expanding. They were migrating, trying to find land to grow their ideology on. Right? All right. So let's go back to the
Do you want the rest of it?
Yes.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
But at the end of the day, as you're going to see, there's always a plot behind it. There's always a plot. Is that mask. They got that pretty nice, peaceful mask on. But when they take that mask off, guess what's behind that? evil, war.
Their real intentions.
The real intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to go through is, it blew my mind about the Mormons. I was like, yo, okay, bet. All praises to the Most High God. All right, let's go back to the slide. Read that.
While initial relations were sometimes peaceful, the settlers' presence disrupted Paiute traditional ways of life and gradually led to displacement and loss of land and resources.
Go ahead. Let me say something on that real quick. So I took a trip. I took my family to Sedona one time, right? And they have a bunch of different tours that you can do. We did some tour where like they take you through the mountains, and the bus driver, of course he was Esau, he's telling this fake story of similar to this, of how he literally said, while initial relations were sometimes peaceful, he tried to make it seem like the relation between the settlers and the so-called Native Americans were peaceful. He was like, they was trading buffaloes, they was trading talents, trading weapons. I'm like, we didn't even have weapons. They came with all that.
Well, I mean, we had weapons.
We had the weapons, right?
Bow and
but
arrows,
we had like the guns, stuff like that.
Our weapons were intended to hunt,
exactly,
to eat,
exactly, survival.
Right.
We didn't have warfare, so that they've been on this for a long time. That just made me think about that tour.
But you know what's crazy though? Because I don't want to skip. Because I want to kind of line it. I'm gonna go. But I don't want to skip little points. I might slip my mind, but it's going to come back. Most High's bringing it back.
Okay.
The Mormon Bible. You know what it says about the natives, so-called natives?
It said that the natives were the Israelites. You remember we went to that museum?
I didn't go, but I heard you
didn't
about
go. Man, we went to this museum, local museum here.
Yeah,
right in the
herb.
Yeah.
Museum?
Watch this. Now, it's a Mormon museum right next to one of their huge temples in the middle. Yes, in the middle of a Latin community.
Damn.
Right.
When you walk in, you see these big murals about how the so-called Native Americans, they talk about how they're the Israelites and how they had this peaceful gathering with them, and then how the Mormons were like intermingling with them. I do recall specifically that it said that they knew that the Native Americans were the chosen people of God. Now, how they dealt with them, though, that's crazy work.
We're about to show you. Get that American Indians and Latter-day Saints. Because I'm building everything up. And
it's funny how, they put this in that temple. Because they know we're not going to
I put it in a chat.
Right.
And they put it right in the middle of our neighborhood. Because they know that we see this big fancy building, we're not going to go in there.
Right.
But we going to go in there, but our people on the streets not going to try it.
It's facts.
It's right above the pictures you took in the book.
The other thing, too, what I saw was a whole bunch of young Latino sisters in there with looking like them Mormon women from Big Love.
Started at 34
with
seconds.
the long now they were modestly dressed, but the expressions they had on their faces, it reminded me of like Get Out. You know, remember the
dead.
sister that was like no.
Yeah.
It was like that.
It was dead.
Yeah,
Right.
straight up.
Yep.
So, hey, a lot of our people, still got the white man on their mind, and it's not solidified till they say it, right? All right, play on.
Latter-day Saints had a theology that was unique in America and probably in the world, and it stemmed from the Book of Mormon, which declared that American Indians were a chosen people and that they deserved all of the access to all of the rights and privileges that the gospel could afford.
Damn,
and that
wait,
caused
hold up.
Latter-day.
You hear that? They, in their book, it talks about how they're, in fact, the chosen people.
Not the Mormons.
Not the Mormons.
The Native Americans.
The Native Americans
are the chosen people.
Are the chosen people.
And they recognize
that's why
that.
he said, that's why if you play the video on, we're not going to go through it. I just wanted him to make that point. He goes into saying how that's the reason why they didn't put so much pressure on them and atrocities on them. They dealt with them with some type of level mind because they knew they were the chosen people. But that don't make sense because what do colonization mean?
I am taking over another people.
I'm wiping you out.
Yes. And replacing you with my people, my resources, my frame of mind,
Right.
my thought process. And if you don't get down, you go lay down.
So, how is those two able to be in the same sentence? It's not. You can't know that these people are the chosen people, but yet you still do what you did.
That's right.
Crazy word.
It's an oxymoron.
It's an
Did you see-
oxymoron. Mormon. All right, let's go back to the different timestamps.
All this stuff be right in front of our face.
Implemented
to the next timestamp.
was encouraging the Native American tribes to raid
703.
these immigrant settlers.
703. All right.
Implemented was encouraging the Native American tribes to raid these immigrant settler wagon trains to prevent them from coming through. They wanted to use the Native Americans not only as an ally, but
So
as
stop.
a weapon.
Does that look like a typical Native American dress?
Hell no.
Hell no.
So what had to happen before this time?
Oh, they had to indoctrinate them.
Boom. Now give me hold on. We're gonna hold that point. We're gonna be going back and forth. We're gonna be going back and forth.
All right, you
And
cooking.
we're gonna go back to Psalms
Mm-hmm.
because this is what they had to do in order to get them to this point to even allow themselves to think it's right to fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
Read that again on
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
All right. Let's play on.
And weaponize them against these immigrant groups. The Baker Venture Party decided to go south through
So
the
stop
Mojave.
right there. Now, go back to the slide, the AI slide. Now, we're going to pay attention to these dates because when did the hold that, brothers in IT, and get the Wikipedia, the link that I got there. I wish I had multiple screens because I want to like pull from have it ready to go. The Mountain Meadows Massacre Wikipedia, yes. So this is what that show is about. It's about just to give you. No,
The
I
Mountain Meadows
don't want
Massacre.
to ruin it for people that want to watch it, but I'm gonna take out points.
Okay.
Something happened in this history of Utah that happened. All right, so let's go down to Mountain Meadows and hit that. See where it says Utah Territory at Mountain Meadows?
Yes, sir. Utah Territory at Mountain Meadows, and was perpetrated by settlers from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, involved with the Utah Territorial Militia, officially called the Nuavo Legion, who recruited and were aided by some Southern Paiute Native Americans.
Now, watch this. Hit on Native Americans. Y'all, watch this. This is what I don't. This is why our people is crazy blind. Read that, and I want you to stop on what you think I'm thinking about. Tobias.
Native Americans, also called American Indians, First Americans, or Indigenous Americans.
Which one pops out the most?
American.
First Americans. First Americans. So how the hell are they calling themselves Americans when they are the first Americans? They identify them as the first Americans. This is we hit Native Americans. Also also known as American Indians, First American, and Indigenous Americans. So that right there, I just had to show that because it's crazy how they recognize them as the first Americans
And the chosen people.
and the chosen people, but they do everything opposite. And you're gonna see you're gonna see how evil these people are, how smooth that butter is in their mouth. All right, let's go back to the video. Keep that Wikipedia ready. Go to the next timestamp.
And looking at those dates that on there. Oh, wait. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm about to get at.
Looking at all those dates.
is going to line up because what we're going to do tonight, we're coming from the Gad side of showing what the curses they fit and what they had to go through. And then we're going to go to South America to show you from the Latino side of letters that was written of what they were going through. So let's go play. Next timestamp, 9:30.
By themselves, basically a makeshift fortification, and they were able to defend themselves. And what was initially planned to be a sudden raid, it turned into this long, drawn-out siege, which lasted 5 days. The Paiute warriors, they didn't actually have the strength and the numbers to completely defeat the immigrant Baker Fancher party. And so the Mormon leaders who were behind the scenes actually dressed as Paiute Indians.
Whoa.
Stop.
Wow.
Talking about the $5 Indians.
$5.
So you see, we're going to keep, I'm going back and forth for a reason. So you can see how this time, the time
period.
Yeah, and it's like crazy how, where they ended up at because our people, our brothers and sisters was fighting for this damn devil because of the smoothness that they put in their ears.
Right.
Not knowing what trap they're about to walk into.
Exactly.
Why are you dressing up to disguise yourself as Indians? That's the question.
You don't find that suspicious?
Why? Interesting. There's a plot. The plot gets thickened. Read our play.
To disguise themselves. They made the decision that they needed to end this because over the course of this 5 days, they were worried that the pioneers figured out their identities and figured out that there's actually...
I'm not saying too much about the show because so I won't spoil it for people that want to watch it still. But there's a reason why that was going on, and they was like, "Yo, we gotta figure something out because the pioneers, being other Edomites, is gonna figure out that white people are attacking white people pretty much. So they didn't want that to come back on them, right? Play.
White men, involved in this, and they're Mormons. After 5 days, the Baker Fancher party, they had run out of water, they ran out of food, and they were desperate. The Mormon militia came and approached with a white flag, and they offered them a kind of peace deal to surrender. And they offered
the Mormon militia.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Militia, bro.
So these are the pioneers and the Mormon, two different people. Yeah. Pioneers is trying to get to the west.
They were trying to get to the gold.
Yeah, before the gold came, they were trying to get to the west and then the gold power, which we're going to see in the timeline. And so in the midst of trying to do that, they had to cross Utah.
So,
which was, I think, part of the Spanish Trail. Without going too deep.
So you got the Mormon militia. They weaponize the local Native American tribes to lay siege on their actual brothers and sisters, right?
Right.
But in the disguise of they were acting like they were the Indians, right?
Right.
Then when they depleted them of all their resources and food and stuff, they came over like, we're here to save you, but we were the same ones that was putting you to death.
Right, because when you follow the story of the Mormons, they started in Illinois, Chicago.
Okay.
Well, the whole ideology started in New York, which you're gonna see. But they was migrating because a lot of people wasn't caring about their ideology about multiple wives and polygamy and stuff, right? So they wanted to go find a place to start Zion, according to their Bible. Right. So in the midst of that, this is why they traveled and came across this. Utah was the spot where they said, this is where we want to.
Right. This is God's country.
Exactly. So this is now the Mormon militia rode up to the people that got attacked that they set up, right?
Right.
Now they're coming up with white flags, playing what role?
Yep.
Oh, you need help, my fellow brother?
Right.
My brother in Christ?
That's that smooth butter war in his heart right there.
Exactly, against his own people.
Crazy word.
Damn. But Esau,
That's how they get
That's how
down.
they roll.
The question is, when's he going to break the covenants? Because they came up talking about peace, right?
Right.
We're gonna go
Making
into
covenant.
that.
Right.
We're gonna go into the
Right.
treaty breaking, all that, because that's what's gonna happen. Watch, you're gonna
Right.
see. Play.
Or to take the immigrants to a nearby town to safety and to keep them safe from the Paiutes. And as they started marching them down, they separated the men from the women and children. And as they marched them down, not far from their camp, they gave a signal, and suddenly all of the militiamen and all of the Paiutes came out from behind the bushes and behind the trees and started shooting. They killed all of the adults of the Baker Fancher party. They only spared 17 children who were under the age of 6 because they thought they wouldn't be able to tell anyone about this. They weren't old enough to even speak about what happened. Basically, they only left babies and toddlers. They killed all the older children. There's even a Mormon militia account.
All right. So,
wait a minute.
Building it up.
Wait a minute. Not only that, see, because I don't know if y'all know about how they get down with this polygamy thing. As soon as a young child gets the flower of her age, she's a marital age. And that's a big thing that they have in their community. They'll be married to a 12-year-old.
The hell is this?
Multiple 12-year-olds. And so, like, they're keeping those little children to do what? To help build up their ranks.
Right.
It's crazy. All
right. So next time, stop, and then we're done. Then we're going to start putting pieces of the puzzle together. All right, go ahead.
Sworn to secrecy, and a plan was set to blame the massacre on the Indians. And the 17 small children who were spared would be taken in by the Mormon families and raised by them. But these children were later reclaimed by the U.S. Army and returned to their relatives. And there's a legend that one girl was not.
All right. So I just wanted to give you that layout. It's very basic because I didn't want to go too deep. I didn't want to make it all about that. I just want to lay some foundation out because my whole thought was when you watch it, which is a good series, go watch it. My whole thought was, watch my brothers fighting next to these bastards.
Right.
And so that's why I started looking into it. But let's go back to the slide, the AI slide.
Yeah. Timelines.
All right. So when go to the Wikipedia real quick. What year did the massacre occur? Go back out. Go to right there. Read that.
The Mountain Meadows Massacre, September 7th through the 11th of 1857, was a series of attacks during the Utah War that resulted in the mass murder of at least 120 members of the Baker Fancher wagon train.
So that's not the fact that I'm trying to make. Esau killed Esau. Oh, well. But the year, 1857. Go back to the slide. Where do you see when they first came over here to Utah? When they first entered Utah, what year?
1851.
1851. So 1851 to 1857 is how many years of colonization?
7 years.
7 years. So it makes sense. I was like, dang, that's 7 years in a game of just brainwashing and doing the stuff that they did to our people to get them to that point to even do that, right? So watch this. Go back to, you got something?
Well, it was 6 years from the time of the massacre. I was looking at where it said 11 Mormon settlements. But on the Wikipedia, it said the massacre happened in 57. So that would be 6 years between the time.
6 years. It was a lot of years in between, right? And then guess what happened after the massacre in 1858? Read that.
1858. 11 Mormon settlements were established in southern Paiute territory, according to the University of Utah.
So they have now established Mormon settlers to now occupy that area and run it and govern it, right? Go back to the Wikipedia.
So basically, they use the Native Americans to get rid of the competition.
Yeah, right. We're gonna see. Go back to Wiki. All right. Go out.
Zoom out.
Actually, go down. Go down. Yeah, go out. And we're gonna hit. Go out. Go to the. That's in another wiki. We need to hit Paiute Indians. Not that one. Go to Wikipedia. You could go back to the mountain one. Go back to that one. And in there, we're going to click on, go back up to the top. What are you doing? Keep going, always to the top. So now go to Southern Paiute. Am I saying that right? Paiute? Mm-hmm. All right. Let's read that.
Southern Paiute people are a tribe of Native Americans who have lived in the Colorado River basin of southern Nevada, northern Arizona, and southern Utah. Bands of Southern Paiute live in scattered locations throughout this territory and have been granted federal recognition on several reservations.
Good for them.
Wow. Southern Paiutes traditionally spoke Colorado River Numic, which is critically endangered language of the Numic branch of the Uto-Aztecan language family and is mutually intelligible with Ute. Ute. The term Paiute comes from pa, meaning water in Ute, and refers to their preference for living near water sources. They practice springtime floodplain farming with reservoirs and irrigation ditches for corn, squash, melons, gourds, sunflowers, beans, and wheat.
So this is our people doing what they do.
Agriculture.
Before Esau got there.
So this makes me think, was that Edomite telling the story in Sedona about the Paiute? That makes me think.
Yeah.
Like, because, the further north you go, you get up there by
Yeah.
Arizona. You can go out west. Nevada's 3 hours from Sedona, give or take. It would make sense.
Yes, sir. Watch this. Read on.
They practice. The first European contact with the Southern Paiute occurred in 1776, when fathers Sylvester Velez de Escalante and Francisco Antasio Dominguez encountered them during an attempt to find an overland route to the missions of California. They noted that some of the Southern Paiute men had thick beards.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And were thought to look more in appearance like Spanish men.
Why you think they had thick beards?
And fringes.
That's why I wanted this, because I want you to look at that picture, sisters. The dress with the fringes, brothers, fringes, the baby. Look at, go up a little bit. The head covering. But look at, it said that they have beards.
And,
Get that real quick.
Even us today, really think about this, right? When you think about a so-called Native American, you don't picture a beard on their face.
Nah,
you don't.
You don't picture. You just picture somebody with long, straight black hair, usually pretty tall, fair brown skin.
Right.
You don't put a beard on their face. That's just how. That shows how heavily we've been indoctrinated.
Straight up.
Right. And later in the show, we're gonna see why. Because a lot of the stuff that they had, they end up getting rid of it. So they they bucked us. They bucked the men, got rid of the leaders, and they put this new ideology on the minds.
Kill the Indians, say them in.
Right. Yep, famous line right there. Oh, this thing, when I was going through this, it makes me mad. Ecclesiastes 7:7, man. Because this is like so crazy how our people could just say, look at the curses that they're going through. They're going through the curses in the Bible.
Right.
Right? Yeah, matter of fact, when you read that, we're going to get a curse of what they're going through. Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 21 and verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their heads, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
Right. So that was a law, brothers and sisters. That's why they was like, yo, they have thick beards. But they want to say, like the appearance like Spanish man. Yeah, right. Get out of here.
Just stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Y'all know exactly where those beards came from. The Israelites. All right, read on. Now watch this.
In 1851, Mormon settlers.
What happened in 1851 when we looked at the last one? That's when they first rolled in, right? Go.
Mormon settlers strategically occupied Paiute land and water sources.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Hold on. Read that part again.
Mormon settlers strategically occupied,
colonized
Paiute land and water sources.
Now, how did they strategically do it when there was people already there? Because their words were smoother than butter, but war was in their hearts. That's exactly what happened.
And we see
That's
how
the next part.
destroyed those lands are now too. Like when you go up
Yeah,
and through
it's
that
a wasteland.
area, it's dry. In Arizona right now, we don't know where we gonna get our water from.
Man, that's crazy.
And it's because of stuff they was doing way back then.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to expose the Mormons. But watch, read on. So I'm glad you picked that up because that's the first thing I picked up when I read it. Strategically, smoothing words like smooth like butter. Strategically, what else comes with that strategically word? That word strategically. What else? Setting up the religion.
Oh yeah,
Strategically
absolutely. Yeah.
taking away what they know slowly.
Shaving
Not
the beard.
Indoctrination.
Not going in hard because they knew who they were according to their Bible in the sense of they're the lost tribe of Israel, whatever not. So they strategically had to do these things.
They had to deal wisely with them.
Deal wisely to make this happen. To get to the point where now they're fighting next to you.
And willingly doing
it. Because guess what? You go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's always been the downfall of our people.
Right.
We get outwitted.
Right now.
Wisely. Right now. Yeah.
And it turns us to that who that brother up on that name. Slowly turns us our minds slowly turns into that. All right. So watch this. So pay attention to the word. Strategically occupied. Remember, that's not their land.
No.
So how are you occupying anything?
They didn't go in there with force. They went in there with smooth words. They went in there with promises. They went in there with covenants.
All right. Read.
Although the relationship between each group was
Read it
peaceful,
from the top. Sorry.
In 1851, Mormon settlers strategically occupied Paiute land and water sources. Although the relationship between each group was peaceful at first.
Like I was saying, going in there understanding, hey, let's deal with them rightly.
Why was it peaceful? Why did they say at first?
They needed some.
Because that's the strategic way that they had to, you ain't gonna go up to someone's door and be like, boo, 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 let me in.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna ding dong, you're gonna stand away from the door, look polite, doors open, hey, yeah, you're gonna talk your talk to try to get in, right?
Well, you gotta remember, they were dwelling together, right? So each group is picking up on the other group's ways. You don't have to speak the language to speak body language, right? So they see how they deal with certain in certain dealings that they have, either between the two of them or when they start dealing with outsiders that were coming in trying to encroach on their territory and stuff. So you got to think about it. This being a wise people, our people being a wise people, they're like, dang, look how they do. That's their own folks over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's probably also part of the tension that was growing between the two groups.
Exactly. So let's continue. Read.
The Paiutes even served as an intermediary between the neighboring Navajo and Ute tribes and the Mormon settlers.
So strategically, hey, these people, if we deal with them, they can be our translator. They could go over there and smooth talk on.
And now we can slide into any of those tribes.
And they did that with the so-called blacks, with the pastors.
Right. That's exactly
right. Trained them up to be able to dialect and dialogue with them and tell them so they can see a familiar face.
They used Gad to win the war.
Exactly.
The code talkers.
Exactly.
That's right.
They used them.
Exactly. And we know Gad is the warrior
That's
tribe.
a mighty man.
Because when you read, we're probably going to read a little bit of it. When they the first round that they came through with, they didn't have it. They chased their butts right up out of there.
Stop it.
Bro, they couldn't run up the side of a mountain.
Come on. So, all right, read.
The Mormon missionary Jacob Hamblin worked at diplomatic efforts, the introduction of European settlers and agricultural
Introduction of European settlers and agricultural practices. So here we go.
most especially large herds of cattle, made it difficult for Southern Paiute to continue their traditional lifestyle.
To continue their traditional lifestyle. What was that?
Keeping the commandments.
Farming,
right? And these large cattle was destroying the seeds strategically, and they brought their Edomite habits out and destroy a natural way of how we got down that end up pushing away which is gonna say it.
And watch this. If I don't have any more food, if my way of obtaining sustenance for my family is taken away, where am I getting my food from?
Right.
You getting it from somebody else that is
for the
dealing
one of
wisely
all
with you.
things.
Right.
We're gonna get that precept, by the way. Read.
and made it difficult for the Southern Paiute to continue their traditional lifestyle, as the livestock ate seeds that were part of their diet.
Damn.
Drove away the game, which reduced their ability to hunt, as well as to gather natural foods.
So, that's all. So, I wanted to show you. Do you think that's all that happened? So, you got an arrogant, prideful person that's migrating and says, I'm going to decide to set up shop right here. Bring all of our cattle, bring everything. We're going to bring all of our traditions. You would think that you'll have some type of courtesy, some house courtesy of going in someone else's land, and you're going to be like, well, this is not my spot, but let's move with respect.
Right. Let me ask, where's the next empty plot of land I can
put? Can I set up shop over here?
Like on the other side of the mountain.
But they came in and what they do, push,
right,
push and set up shop, and
they say, hey, let's work together, then push them out.
Right,
straight up.
Get that? I know you got something.
Yeah, I got Obadiah, verse 5.
Yep.
If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough?
Till they had enough?
If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? And that's the thing with Esau, right? It has to be total annihilation. And when I say annihilation, it's either by the sword or by their philosophies. So that annihilation of the mind of the other people is my God, which is the devil, is stronger than your God, which is actually the God that created the devil.
Right.
But the way that I impose myself upon you, because remember, his gift was the sword.
Right.
So the way he imposes himself upon you, it makes it to where everyone else is insufficient. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Is it by what they just did?
Exactly.
Your whole cattle just took out my food source.
Right.
Now this goes into that strategic. You didn't think they knew what they were doing.
Come on now, dog.
You didn't think
come on, man.
You didn't think our brothers and sisters went up to them trying to negotiate. Hey, bro, like
look at your
cattle.
Bro.
It's like
this our food over here, bro. Oh, we're sorry. You know what? That's that Karen stuff. You know when you got, you know, you just moved into a new subdivision, and they got the HOA, and the Karen stay next door to you, and she parks her car in your driveway, and she always got some excuse about why she parking in your driveway. That's what they was doing. Yeah, oh, I didn't know. I didn't think you would mind if my cattle ate all of your food.
Or from experience
to fast forward up, to fast forward up to today though, for people that can't wrap their minds around, we don't have land and stuff, and we don't have seeds. Imagine someone stranger just coming up to your door, ding dong. You open the door, he's like, "Excuse me." All his dogs come in, start doing whatever. You're just like, what?
Didn't even say hello.
Hello. Yeah. What the hell is going on? Get out of my house.
In my house.
So
then they like, nah, squatters' rights.
Right. Squatters' rights.
Squatters'
Damn. Doggone vagabonds.
Hit you with the squatters' rights.
So this is what happened to when they first. This is that strategic, that words like butter coming in, slowly pulling it. Oh, where else we're gonna put our cattle? All right, y'all can put them there. But damn, it's destroying our food now. Hey, what's up? Hey, nope. Now my question is, do you think that's the only thing they did?
Oh no,
you gotta dig deep to find what else they did. Which I when I was reading, I was like, yo, this not just all of it right here. It's got to be more. Get the slide. Go to the last one. Wait. Go to the second before last. Go over. That one. Read.
The treatment of Paiute Native Americans by Mormons was marked by violent displacement.
Wait, hold up.
Wait a
Violent displacement.
Wait a minute.
But didn't it say?
Wait a minute.
didn't
We were
read
working
earlier,
together. Wait a
it
minute.
was peaceful.
It was peaceful.
Read.
Displacement and a loss of cultural autonomy. While some interactions were peaceful, the overall experience.
What actions was peaceful?
Yeah.
It said a loss of cultural
Autonomy.
So we had it set. We knew what seasons we was gonna plant. We was gonna gather how much we needed to
Get the word
survive in the
autonomy.
winter.
We knew when the Sabbath was.
We knew when the Sabbath was.
We were keeping laws. Cultural autonomy means that they came and colonized our very existence.
Right.
I want to get. It's not a black word. So
Yeah, autonomy.
Autonomy is not a black
so we're
word.
gonna put it up to help us out.
AUTOMON.
Nah.
Yeah.
N-O-M.
Wow.
N-O-M.
There you go.
Read that.
The right or condition of self-government.
Uh-huh.
See more.
Seymour.
All right, read that.
Which portion?
Start from
Self-government. Oh.
Self-government, independence, self-rule, home rule, sovereignty.
They took over their sovereignty. That's crazy work.
I don't know, man. Every time
That's
I read
Deuteronomy
this, it's
28 and 47.
we're gonna get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you in the spirit.
But we still missing. We're still missing one key component.
What?
Deuteronomy 7:3.
Yeah, that is definitely the key to component. But just that Deuteronomy 28. Man.
Yeah.
All praises.
Let's get it.
Bro. Cultural autonomy.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
Now tell me this. Was these people already there or were they sent?
They were sent.
They were sent. So this is from God. In the book of Deuteronomy 28, it talks about the blessings and the curses. If you believe in the Bible, we believe in Bible. What the Bible says, we go with. And then we use outsources to solidify or to show to what's the word I'm looking for?
We use the stuff that they wrote.
Right.
we use the stuff they recorded.
Just for more proof to show you in history what happened that was prophesied in the Bible, right? Read.
And in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So they already had all of this.
But they strategically set up at the waterways.
That part.
Their cattle ate up the food. All of that. And then you think about it, the way that they were hunting is how they provided clothing.
Exactly.
Crazy.
You see how, but if you understand Gadites, what the buffalo was their source of everything.
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 From the rooter to the toot.
So if they had no seeds or things to come around to eat,
right,
they had to go away. So now I guess they're deprived of everything.
And remember, they were nomadic because they roamed where the buffalo roamed. So wherever the buffalo would go, that's where they would go.
And they also roam per season too,
right?
According to season, because they had to go and follow where the migration, and also where the certain seeds planted. Like I did way more than what I'm talking about because it'll be way too long. But the stuff that they were saying is like these people were people that traveled where the seeds grew at because it never grew in the same area all the time. So they was always moving.
Right.
Exactly. Verse 51.
Real quick, just to point out at the rest of this right here of what you're going over too, it shows Deuteronomy 28 and 48 as an escalation process.
Right.
Because at the end, before we even get to the chains on necks until we're destroyed completely, They literally they hit us for the waterways, then they hit the food source. All of that was an escalation process till you get to the end of the verse. Bro, that's heavy. Verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Everything was destroyed. It gave a list of crops. Where was that at? The crops
The
that
squash,
was on
the
there?
gourds,
the
the
melons.
sunflower, the melons. Yeah.
Right. Read on.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
Nothing was left for them.
That go back to that Obadiah.
Right. Nothing was left for them. And then what did they do? That's when they took over. That's when, what was the year? 1858?
1858,
All
yep.
those settlements started to come in. That's
Exactly.
when they said, okay, now they have nothing. So now is the chance to start.
You know what?
Started getting in their mind.
You know what else? You know what else that's called? That's a virus.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a cancer.
It's a cancer.
Slowly growing until it gets to the
Until it
point.
starts metastasizing and it gets larger than life.
That's a big word too, not a black word.
Could we grab Habakkuk 2 and 5 real quick?
Bruh, I was there.
Were you?
You get
in the spirit.
All praises.
Because that's literally, like you said, it's the escalation process till we got to the point where it was, what was it, 1858?
1858.
And then they started to now, they used us to now infiltrate the Navajo and the other native tribes that they didn't meet with first, right?
Right. You want to start at verse 4?
Okay, yeah, read that real quick. Read. I only knew what 5 was. What's verse 4?
I got you. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him.
Right. So we know that the soul inside of Esau is not right. We all know the way that he thinks, the way that even bathing, we taught them how to bathe. All of that comes from how we think, how we carry ourselves. But their soul is not upright in them. Read.
But the just shall live by his faith.
And we have faith that though all of these things happen to us, God sees it and he's going to bring it into judgment. But read.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
We know that this man transgresses by lies. When you read that wine, that's the lies going back to Micah 2 and 11. Read.
He is a proud man.
A proud man. Not only did he make covenants, everything that he talked peace, it was all lies. War was in his heart. This man was proud. He knew, I'm just going to play soft right now. And if we would have watched him, we would have seen that he altogether was not unclean. Read.
Neither keepeth at home.
He don't keep at home. He's over there traveling different places. He started to come all the way. You said from New York, right, Officer Joe?
Right.
Yeah.
Came from New York all the way out to Utah, working his way to California. Read.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
He wanted all of America. Though they were the first Americans, he wanted all of America.
Right.
And he did it little by little. Read.
And is as death.
And is as deaf, because as he started to bring his ways to us, it started to eat up the seas. It started to take over the waterways, and all of our way of life brought forth death, because you saw they started to not only kill off their own people, they used us to do it, and then that was a transition for us to go further into slavery. Read.
And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations.
And that's what he did. Now he got the Navajo Nation. Now you've got these other tribes that he's trying to, the Paiutes, all of these other nations that he started to, because he used the Paiutes to get to the Navajos. He started to gather unto him all nations. It's a process. Read.
And heapeth unto him all people.
And that's what he was doing. That thing is heavy.
Hey, and don't forget, after he's removed them from their cultural autonomy,
right?
And they have to depend on him for the one of all things. What's that called? Captivity. Give me Isaiah 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
So he has strategically put the Paiute people in captivity. Watch this.
Because they have no knowledge.
Because they stopped dealing with the Lord their God. Come on.
And their honorable men are famished.
Look, all of the elders that used to know to keep the laws, now these men are starting to be dried up. Come on.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Right, because now there's no knowledge in the earth no more. Watch this.
Therefore, hell hath
Wait. Don't just slide over that, because in Habakkuk, it just said that this man was going to bring hell with him, right? Read that again.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
So now that they are in captivity under this Mormon settlers, right?
Right.
They are in a living hell. They're in hell on earth.
Hey, somebody's thinking right now, I guarantee you, somebody's thinking, y'all mentioned that they even had their own people, right? Which they did. Give me Psalms 9 and 15 real quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter...
They don't give a damn. They'll take their own people out. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made.
That who made?
That they made.
Uh-huh.
In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
Their own people fall into their own traps. They don't care. Their
Right.
own people are what they use as collateral damage.
Exactly.
They'll say, okay, we'll kill a few of our own as long as that ultimate mission is to get
to the
these
Israelites.
people,
Yeah.
to get the Israelites.
And they do
That's
that
it.
intentionally.
Yeah,
right.
intentionally.
They move their people as pawns.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's
exactly, bro. Exactly.
And that's why when we look at, I want to make this one more, the other point, I want to go back to the slide. We want to bring some more out, then we can get some more scripts on that. Because there's some more points that they were saying that I was like, yo, all right, let's start from where we left off at.
While some
Toby.
interactions.
Oh. Where we at? While some interactions were peaceful, the overall experience was one of conquest and subjugation, with tragic incidents like the Circleville Massacre.
Look that up on your own time. That's another massacre that happened. Read.
And the broader displacement from their land.
Broader displacement from their land. Don't the Bible say curse be a man that displaced? Let's get that. I'm going to butcher it.
Remove a man's landmark.
Yeah, it's I think Deuteronomy 27:17. Deuteronomy 27.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27 and verse 17. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's...
Cursed be he that what?
Removeth his neighbor's landmark.
Removeth his neighbor's landmark. Remember, when they first came in, they're walking in slowly with their herds.
With their heads down from the long travel.
It was 100%. Then they came in. Then they took all that little section. All right, herds and the cattle's taking up space now. Now they're moving all their stuff out, or animals and things that they have to hunt. Their food and all that stuff is now going
Displace
out.
them.
Displacing them. They're pushing them further and back.
Their way of life.
The way of life, everything. Because now, go to Lamentations 5.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach.
So cursed be that person that does that. At the end of the day, we understand there's a just God. That's right. And everyone's going to get what they deserve at the end of the day. We all know that there's no place in the kingdom for the other nations, period, point blank. So I'm not saying that at all. There's no possible way.
Not of rulership.
Of rulership.
They will have to help us build.
Yes, I'm talking about that final straw.
Oh, that final, the final countdown.
They ain't there.
A memory.
It says they're going to be brought to their place.
Yeah, to their place.
To their place at the end of the day. But that curse, that man that took and moved his borders, which is an Edomite. Read Lamentations, go.
Verse 2, our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Who? What did the Bible refer the people that did this to our people? Strangers. Read on.
Our houses to aliens.
Our houses to aliens. Who are the aliens today? According to the Bible, it's the other nations.
And look, so-called or Latinos, you are not aliens.
Right.
I know they call y'all illegal aliens.
You're not the alien.
The Bible clearly said who the alien is.
Right here. And you know what makes me mad?
What grinds your gears?
Where did they get illegal aliens from? It's almost like we know Esau knows the Bible.
Right.
Yeah, he wiser than they.
And we know that they like to mock us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they probably we don't know they're the illegal aliens. Like, I'm just saying. But it's just according to the Bible, Esau's the illegal alien on this turf.
Right.
This land was for the Israelites from the beginning until they came. And guess what?
What?
When the Most High come back, we're going to go back to our original land.
Man.
But right now, read on.
We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us.
Read one more verse.
Verse 5. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest.
Didn't they say they kept 6-year-olds?
Yeah.
That's verse 3. They're orphans, fatherless. I'm pretty sure they probably kept a couple women for y'all
That was
know
part
why.
of that was part of their MO as they went on their reign of tyranny.
Exactly.
Right. Now, let's go back to the slide. Because this slide right here is going to pretty much show the curses that they try to hide unless you start hitting buttons and going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Like, it was going so deep, I had to stop. I was like, let me stop hitting buttons. Because every time I was like, they gave me a little link to hit, I hit it. I'm just like reading. I'm like, oh, my gosh. You got to literally search for that thing.
Research.
Yeah. Read.
Early interactions and colonialism. Mormon colonization of southern Paiute lands was rapid, with settlements established within 8 years of their arrival. The best farmlands and water sources were taken. Were taken.
They get the fat of the land.
Boom.
Right. It said within 8 years of their arrival.
Exactly.
That's that timeline.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
why,
it.
That's why I'm trying to show you, like, this why I was like, all praises. They didn't do it willingly, fight next to them. They went through hell, and you're going to find out that they had to do it. They had to do it at a certain point. Watch this. Read on.
Were taken by the Mormons, displacing the Paiute. In 1854, a Paiute chief attempted to negotiate.
To negotiate. Hey, bro. Hey, come on, bro. Like,
come on, we're
brothers. You were peaceful. Like, hey, we trying to negotiate something. Read.
A peaceful agreement with the Mormons, but it was largely disregarded.
It's like, get out of here,
man. F y'all. F your couch. F your cattle.
That's that war that's coming out.
That's
it. That mask. They was like, where's the mask at? He took the mask off. I was like, no, there's no more mask.
Right.
This is what we doing now. Read on.
Violence and massacre. The Circleville Massacre, in which Mormons murdered an entire Paiute village.
Hey, who did
Wait
this?
a minute.
Who did this, though?
The Circleville Massacre, in which Mormons.
Wait a minute.
Murdered an entire Paiute village.
Not the butter churners.
Wait, not the butter. That butter.
Read.
Is a stark example of the violence inflicted upon the Paiute.
So we're seeing,
Wait.
taking you down memory lane.
I'm confused.
Why they got to the point to say finally giving submission to fight along the side of these devils.
when they showed up, they had their hands out like Caesar, like
right.
in submission.
Show a picture.
That's
they got
crazy.
the if you just hit Mormon, Utah, Indian, a picture will show how they look and how they. I was looking at the picture. I was like, "Yo, these devils." Yeah, it irks
Not
me
moron,
inside.
not more. Oh,
Mormons.
oh
The
God.
spirit of Tobias is
Yes,
within IT.
it is within IT.
Damn.
The spirit
Engine,
of Frank.
Indanes?
Images.
What's an
Boom.
Indane?
Yeah, hit that one right there in the top left.
Top
Top
left.
left.
Top
Who
left.
back there?
Yes.
Who is back there?
It's Miho or Adam. One of them.
Saying the spirit. Look at that.
Look at this. Look, somebody
Bruh.
come look at this. Wait. Hey, type in the comments if y'all can see what we see in this picture right now. Type in the comments if you see what we see in this picture right now. Because what I see right here, and I'm not gonna give it away right off the top, it reminds me of
Put the picture up.
a movie called Birth of the Nation. Type in the comments if you can see what we see right now. Go ahead.
Yo, it's a few things that I see on this.
I'm talking about the most obvious thing. The most obvious thing. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. I want y'all to look at this, and I want you to think about any slave movies or shows you've seen, like Roots, right? You will see what in the field? 300 plus slaves.
Bruh.
And how many Edomites?
3,
Maybe.
4.
Maybe. Look at all of these people subdued spiritually
Someone
by
called
these
it
two men.
Nava?
That's Sister Nayava. Exactly. That's right, sis. It's so many of us and only 2 of them.
She called it because that's her tribe.
Oh,
that's
dang.
Yeah.
That is crazy work.
That's crazy.
So wait, hold on. But this goes to show you how the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Negroes are the same people.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're gonna show you. We're gonna have to move to the next one because
Mhm.
this is taking a lot. I ain't think it was gonna take this long.
Hey, real quick though, just in case they thought we was lying about, go back, pull the picture back up. Go back to the picture.
Oh God.
I noticed something in the background. Look, zoom in on the left side. On the left, you'll see that brother back there with a beard. Is that a beard?
He
or
got
am
a
I
beard.
tripping?
Those are beards.
That's a beard.
That's
I
a
know I'm
beard.
not tripping.
That's a beard.
And on the right side, all the way to the right, all
That's
the
a
way to the
beard.
right.
We was
That
keeping
one
the
right there.
commandments.
Yeah. Hey, go back out. I'm gonna show you another picture just to show you what they were doing to our people. It's right there. They're baptizing. There's an actual picture. Go down one second row, all the way to the right.
Somebody come look at this.
The picture is kind of.
Mhm.
That's how you know it's
But
real.
you can see it though.
But
Look
you
at him.
see him in the water.
Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord?
Yeah.
And look at everyone, like you said,
Joseph Smith.
just two
Right.
white men, just two, and many
Right.
of our people. Could have easily just stuffed them, put them in the dirt. Well, we don't condone violence, but dang, if I'm mad at this point. Like, bro, you just took everything from us, right? All right, let's go back
It's the same
to
thing they was doing
the slide.
on Birth of a Nation.
Right.
Same thing.
And I'm about to show you how blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are all one nation and we are the same people.
Let's get it.
All right. Let's finish this out and we're going to go to the next.
Violence and Massacre, the Circleville Massacre, in which Mormons murdered an entire Paiute village, is a stark example of the violence inflicted upon the Paiute. Mormon militiamen allegedly killed 16 Paiute men and women at Circleville, with some reports detailing specific methods of execution.
Wait a minute. That's torture.
Other incidents of violence, including the killing of Paiute men in retaliation for alleged horse thefts, also occurred.
Alleged.
Alleged. That means they were lying.
Right.
You know what that means? It was a nigga he was. It was a nigga.
Right.
That's what that is.
Because remember, they're the same people that disguise themselves as Gadites to say that, oh, it was the Gadites that did it.
Hey, remember a couple of years ago, it might have been around 2016, 2017.
I think I know what you're finna say.
They had them dudes committing robberies and
Yeah.
thefts with a whole
blackface.
blackface mask on.
Yep.
That same spirit's here today. So
There
we're
was
gonna
a
go
term for that. I can't remember.
right. One more slide. Go one more slide over. Read.
The Termination Law of 1954 further impacted the Paiute, stripping them of federal recognition, land, and various benefits, resulting in significant hardship and death.
All the way up to now. 1954 wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't. It wasn't, bro.
This is something, a persecution. In Lamentations, go back to Lamentations and read verse 5 again.
The Book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 5. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest.
No rest from when the devils first came into the scene to all the way up to now. No rest, persecution, no nothing. Read on, finish that out.
In some instances, the Mormons did attempt to coexist peacefully with the Paiute.
BS.
There are accounts of Mormons and Paiute individuals working together and even forming relationships.
Oh, you know what that? But
Right.
you know what that forming relationships
Right.
is.
However,
Wait. Let's not let it slide by. This is the form of relationships. Hey, shave your beard. Put this suit on.
let me take
marry
your
my
daughter.
marry
Yes.
my daughter.
Marry my daughter.
Marry my daughter so I can take
Take
your
your
land.
Take your
right.
land. Which
That
what,
part.
What movie was
That
that?
Flower Moon.
Flower Moon. Same thing. This is the relationship they're talking about. Nothing was peaceful. Nothing
It was
good
strategic.
to benefit our people. Period.
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. Is that finished? Is that it? I read on.
However, these interactions were often overshadowed by the more destructive aspects of the colonization process.
Wait. See, it ain't all white folks.
All white people ain't bad.
That's crazy. The scripture said not one is not one.
From the womb, they crying in line.
Right.
Get that.
Which one?
The womb. From the womb. Because we got to understand you got to know who your enemy is in order to know how to deal with them and conduct yourself and how to avoid.
That's the knowledge we lack.
And that's the knowledge we lack. We got the who's there up on that nag. Instead of hearing and seeing the history that our leadership from bishops down bringing out conclusive facts and history on our brothers and sisters of Northern Kingdom. Plethora of it. A lot is endless videos on it. And we still got idiots saying those are not Israelites. They're not black like me. Just craziness, man.
If anything, it's real easy to prove that they Israelites.
It's easy. We're showing you through the curses right now.
Straight up.
Through the curses in the Bible. What other nation's been through that? I want, if you're online, let me know a nationality, a people that was robbed of their culture, robbed of their identity, robbed of their heritage, and then put on in place of that was put on their captive, their oppressor ideology, heritage, and they put that on them.
That part.
Name me a people that did and took them from their land, everything.
Bro, obviously Deuteronomy 28 applies to all 12 tribes, but when you read those curses, to me it's easier to put Northern Kingdom there.
Right.
It's much easier to put
I'm
Northern
going to show you where we can put Northern Kingdom there. Deuteronomy 28:48.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
Go on. It's this verse.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
From far. This is a Northern Kingdom precept.
Right.
Because who came from far? The Spaniards.
Yeah.
The Conquistadors. These Mormons, they migrated.
That's it.
They came from far. And what? Read.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
And from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Because remember, they had to use the Paiute people to help them with the Navajo and the other neighboring tribes.
To translate.
Yep.
So what language were they speaking? It wasn't English.
It wasn't
English. Spanish. So what was it?
Language they didn't
I'm gonna
understand.
say Hebrew.
And as they did that, it even said that their language was taken away.
Exactly.
Because I forgot
cultural autonomy.
The autonomy, right? So yeah, they literally lost the language they spoke, just like the Latinos in South America.
Right.
Same thing with the Aztecs, with the Mayans.
Right.
All of that.
Right.
But remember, it was still some that still knew it because they used them in the war to send signals.
That's
like,
right.
They had to teach them the language. That
Right.
they spoke to win.
That's right.
Yeah.
Finish it out.
That was it. You want verse 50?
No, read it again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation.
So understand, this nation came from the end of the earth, from the other side of the earth,
right?
As swift as the eagle flies to another part of the earth,
right?
When you look at history, this is coming from Europe area,
right?
The western or the east, right? And they took ships on over here to the west.
As swift also.
As swift as an eagle.
He said earlier they did it quickly. 8 years.
Right.
8 years.
They didn't come in moving slow.
Yeah, they don't do that.
No.
They conquered quick.
No, bro.
did.
This was a plan.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had the plan.
Strategic.
Well, it's spiritual.
Right.
It's a spirit in them to be able to move like that because the Bible says so in Genesis. It's their spirit.
We talk a lot about being in the spirit of being on one mind and one accord. We work on that. That's autonomy for them.
Right.
Because of how evil the spirit is within them.
That's it.
Right. But it goes back to, Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Right.
And Esau was what? Cunning hunter.
He was a cunning hunter.
He's always, this is his nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
war
nature
is
to
his
do that.
nature,
War, bloodshed, hunt, like always hunting. But what are they hunting? They hunt animals and they hunt
people.
What? Our people.
Bro.
Can I grab some real quick?
Go ahead.
Get Sirach 12 and 11.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like we said earlier, that's the knowledge we lacked, right? Because when we really get into the Bible, it's easy for us to be able to reference who their forefathers are, the blessings that they have, the characteristics and attributes of that man, we can identify them because what was written aforetime was written for us to learn from.
Right.
But without the comforter, without the ability to learn, we would be just like the Paiute Indians and fall into the same traps. But God equipped us.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 11. Though he humble himself.
Because when they came humbling themselves. They came peaceful. At first, they wanted to be at peace with us. You guys got it going on. We see the food, your culture. Let us learn more about it.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? Read.
And go crouching.
And he go crouching. He might even try to look lowly. Someone said earlier they came over with their heads down. We might be hungry. We're thirsty. We don't know how to survive.
Weary travelers.
Right. Read.
Yet take good heed.
Now we know. Look. Take good heed. Pay close attention. Read.
And beware of him.
Pay attention and watch how he's moving. Read.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass.
If we move like that, we beware of them, we're going to be into them like as if we sat there and cleaned off a looking glass. Wiped it all the way clean. Read.
And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
That's how we got to be moving in these last days because they're going to come with the same tactics. They want to speak peace. They're going to come at, hey, just they're all, not all white people are bad.
Right.
Let's be together. Let's be friends. Come on now.
You know why they come with the same tactics?
Huh.
Because we still coming with the same mindset.
Damn.
It works against us every
Generational
time.
curse.
Every time. And it's like nobody had a solution on how to identify the warfare that's being placed on us with this doggone man until we started reading this. But guess what? We can read now.
We can read. Hey, get Lamentations 4 and 17. We're gonna segment into the other part. So we were touching Gad,
right,
with a little bit of exposing of Mormons and how they had their dirty hands in killings and oppression of our people, and that's the Gad. All right, now we're gonna transition into so-called Latinos. All right, but let's read this first because this right here is a premises. This is what they do to us.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Now watch this. They didn't need nothing before the Mormons got there.
Right.
Not
Abundance of all things.
Right.
They lived off the earth that God gave us.
Right.
God gave us everything on this earth. That's why he said a bird don't have to worry about where to live, where to eat, because he provide everything. But these damn devils came out of nowhere and forced a people to now be to now live this prophecy, live this scripture. Because this scripture came only from the curses, only came from our disobedience.
That's it.
Because it's our fault at the end of the day. But look who we were before that. Read.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So when they were fighting alongside of those Mormons, guess what? They had to. They needed their help.
Right.
They ran off all their livestock. They ran off all their game. The seas was trumped. They took over. People were getting killed. They're being colonized. Their brain is being brainwashed.
You got more white folk coming in.
More white folk coming in. Now these people is down. They submerged their knowledge down. They stripped them away from their true knowledge that we had as Israelites.
Resources diminishing.
Right. Where now we're looking to them. Hey, we don't got nothing now, but
save us.
Yes. How my family gonna survive? Here, come and fight for us. All right. You get what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
It's crazy. This precept did. Yo, read on.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
We'll mind our own business. But guess what they did? We know in our Bible that the Indians are lost Israelites. We know where they are. When you watch more videos, they knew where we were.
Joseph Smith gave them the blueprint on how to deal with them in that book.
Exactly.
Don't forget, just like on one hand he said that the Native Americans are the chosen people, on the other hand he said that anybody with black skin is a curse.
Right.
So the natives had, watch this, the natives were darker skinned people.
Yep.
Right.
So which one is it?
That's the confusion.
The confusion.
Stop the cap.
The devil. That's a child of the devil right there. There's all confusion there. They come seeming as sheep with wolves with sheep clothing.
Right.
One more thing. I'm sorry.
Can I-
Read verse 18 again.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps.
Now watch this. If anybody knows anything about hunting, that's a strategic thing. It requires patience, but it also requires a planning, but also the mindset that you are superior to your prey. From the moment that they set foot in those lands where the Paiute people were, those Paiute were prey, but they had to strategically hunt them and create scenarios where they had to only come to them for the want of all things, and that's what happened to them.
Exactly.
And I wanted to point out the same, like what you said is heavy, because the verse we read earlier about where war was in their heart, their entire mindset, when they're hunting our steps.
That's my point.
That
Yes.
thing is heavy.
Yes.
It's all in
That's
the mind. before it
Yes.
manifests.
Right? They have already come to the end of the war before they set foot on that land.
Because when you hunt something, you may want that thing that you're hunting to come over here. So you're going to set up things
traps.
or do
Yes.
signs or signals to
Yep.
make that game
Right.
to go over there to get him and kill him. All right? Finish the precept. Go to verse 19. Down
They
to 19.
hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Read.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the
Those
heaven.
are the white man. The white man.
White?
The conquistadors, the Spaniards. Anyone that had their hands involved is them.
The Romans, the Greeks.
The Romans, the Greek. Esau, Idumea, Edom.
The
Read.
Neanderthals.
Read.
They pursued us upon the mountains.
In the mountains. Guess where Utah's full of mountains?
Mountains, bro.
Mountains.
Crazy
Guess
work.
where Gad was always at? Mountains.
mountains.
And where else? Read.
They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
In our wildernesses, where we established and had things going on peacefully. They said, hey, there's some people. Let's go get them. Look how they're living. Look at all the gold. Look at it. We need that.
They learned the lay of our land.
The lay
and
of our land.
outsmarted us on our own land.
Exactly.
All right.
By
So now,
using us.
right. So now we're going to go to South America.
I'm sorry.
Go
Can we
ahead.
finish?
Yeah.
Verse 21.
Oh, yeah.
Verse
Get it.
21.
Verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
Wait a minute. So now the Lord is calling their asses out. Oh,
Live it
go
up.
ahead and
Live
go
it
ahead
up.
and rejoice. Oh, daughter of Edom, come on.
O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
Right.
Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked.
Why? Because you've conquered everybody. You think that you've won. So now you sitting back in all your spoils and all your glory
Pride.
and pride. But watch this.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished.
Wait a minute. See, you're already defeated. Don't forget that Jacob, the name Israel means one that has power with God and with man and has prevailed. Come on.
O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity.
So guess what? No longer is the daughter of Zion going to be carried away into captivity. Come on.
He will visit thine iniquity.
Now he's coming back on you. All the things that Esau did unto you. Come on.
O daughter of Edom.
So he's going to come back on Edom. Come on.
He will discover thy sin.
And he's going to let us know all the wicked, filthy, nasty things that you've done to us. So in that day, we're not going to be fishers anymore. We'll be hunters.
Right.
And they can't complain, oh, that was my great-grandfather. That was my grandfather.
Nope.
You got to pay that bill.
They got to pay that.
You got to pay that bill.
According to Isaiah.
Left you holding the table. Your grandfather left the table with you sitting there holding the tab.
He lived it up.
That's
now
it.
You got to pay for it.
Back it up, too.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Sirach 41:7.
But to
Break
get
that,
get that, but that's deep. So for people on the line, they probably thinking, well, that's back then. I'm not a part of that. My mind is different. Hey, according to the Bible, the Most High God said, it's your forefathers' fault. You're gonna get punishment for your forefathers. How is it? How does it feel? How does it feel to know that you're gonna get punished for something you never did? But guess what?
But you did do it.
You did do it. If you understand the Bible and regeneration. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have justice. Most High God's gonna bring justice. And that justice is gonna be what? The Black and Latinos and Native Americans, we're gonna be put in our rightful spot again, and we're gonna rule this planet.
Right. It is. That's all.
Bring that up.
You wanted what?
Sirach 41 and verse 7, just to back up Isaiah as well.
The book of Sirach, chapter 41, verse 7. The children will complain of an ungodly father.
That's that generation today. That was my grandfather. That was my great-grandfather. I didn't do that. I love black people. I love Indian people. I'm an Indian myself, Reed.
Because they shall be reproached for his sake.
They shall be reproached for their grandfather's sake, for the things that their great-grandparents did, for this stuff that happened during that time. They're going to receive that reproach. They're going to have the bill. That's all I wanted on that.
Can you read verse 6 for me?
Yeah, verse 6. Sirach 41, verse 6. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish.
The inheritance that these men, daughters of their fathers, they're going to perish, right? Read.
And their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach.
All of these kingdoms, the wealth, the riches, everything that you built, it's going to be a reproach because of how you got it. You got it unlawful. You got it through violence. You got it through rape, robbing, pillaging, indoctrination. Unjust ways.
With blood.
Right. Woe unto them that build a city on blood. It's crazy.
So now we're gonna go to South America. All right.
Let's take a trip.
Let's take a trip to another place in the world where our people, Northern Kingdom,
right,
so-called Latinos and Native Americans, is gonna be going through the same thing. Let's get the. Let me find it real quick.
Hey, if y'all feeling this class, let me get some bombs or some fire emojis in the chat.
Let's see,
what's happening.
Let's get those pictures, snapshots of the book. Oh, one more thing. Play that video real quick, because this is in the museum here. We're gonna actually try to do a documentary on this too. That one. This is a museum me and my wife went to, and I walked out pissed off. It's crazy how they have stuff right in front of our face, and our people don't want to take the time to go look. Right. Where we teach at Indian school, that street, that is history behind that thing, man. There's a whole boarding school, all that stuff.
Alma
right there.
school, Indian school,
right? All the schools.
I heard when I first moved out here that the Highway 60 is all built on top of Indian burial ground.
Yes.
Boy, no way, boy.
Yes,
I heard
this
that when I
place,
first
bro,
moved out here.
The 60 is a long road.
We gotta go back and we gotta do something on this. But this is just a little clip. I'll play that. This is something that they made, right? Look at the beginning of the end. It showed
took them from the house.
Where we at?
Process them.
Put
them on the wagon. And then, like you said, take them there.
Language, hair, clothing, name. Gave them names.
Sherman.
Mary Sound, Walter Sound, Dorothy Wood, Tommy Woods, and Edison.
But this is just one thing in that whole museum. They have all types of it. That thing is huge too.
The beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Can I read some?
Go ahead.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9.
Yeah, go ahead.
The end they
go
don't really
ahead
understand.
with that thing.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So that's the end of the world is really Esau.
Right.
We're gonna be following that with rulership.
So
but at their mind at that time is they ended. The end of their world was their heritage, their culture that they lost, and they had to be colonized into these damn people that Esau wanted them to be.
In order for all of our captivity and our punishment to have its fill, it had to begin with us losing our heritage.
Exactly.
Right.
We had to go through the boarding schools because God, the only way God brings the comforter to us and we receive the gift that we have now is if we went through all of losing that.
Right.
So that literally was the beginning of the end, so that our world can be ushered in.
And that's scriptural too. That's in the Bible, knowing the beginning from the end.
Right.
The Most High already had all this set up to happen.
All set up, brothers and sisters. But we got to come back to who we are.
Right.
Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are one people. We have to come back together as one people under what? God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the only way. So now we're going to go to, put that book up. We're going to go over here now, South America. All right.
Take a little trip.
How you say that? Yucatan.
Yucatan.
Yeah. Before and after the conquest.
No flavor to it?
Yucatan. This is
Yucatan.
the Maya. The Mayans, the Maya. This is what? Zebulon in that area. So we got, before we get that, that's a letter. If they can see it, that's an actual letter of the Maya.
Zoom in a little bit. Zoom in.
That's an actual letter of the Maya that was written. That was written to, at that time, the kingdom, the magistrate, whatever. I don't like using those names. To the damn devil. Yeah, but this is letters that I'm going to go through. But before we go there, let's get the
page 59.
Before we go there, we're going to get a wiki on the. Let's get the second link on. Hold on, sorry, I lost my spot. Second link on that devil, Diego de Landa
Calderon.
The second one. Let's get the other one. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I gotta cut some stuff out, so we want. I'm not Deacon Joshua. I'm not. We don't do plus. That's up to Deke right there. I'm the little guy. I'm just trying to fill in. All right. So we're gonna start right
Shout out
here.
to Deacon Joshua.
Shout out to Deacon Joshua.
Big D.
Spirit laws of uniting the stigma that's out there that's separating the blacks from the Hispanic Latinos. We're getting rid of that. We gotta come back together under God's laws.
We gotta keep it going.
We gotta keep it going,
That's it.
man.
Keep it going with the history.
All right. Scroll down. So this is picture. We seen this picture. This is the actual picture that happened during this time when he was over there. Diego, go up. Read that.
Up.
No, go down. I guess.
There you go.
Read that.
Diego de Landa.
All right, go down.
I like it. You had a little twist on it.
A little something.
Okay.
All right, read that.
Conquistadors used dogs to capture slaves during their conquest.
They do that now.
Right.
They did that with the African Americans.
That's what I'm.
Crazy.
Exactly.
Every effort was made by the Spanish conquistadors to eradicate all signs of Mayan culture.
What?
To eradicate all signs of Mayan culture.
Cultural autonomy.
They were helped by Franciscan and Dominican friars who destroy all evidence of Mayan religious beliefs.
That's what they're doing right now with the what's that? The African American Museum of History, Black History Month, and all Harriet Tubman statues and all that stuff.
Of all those statues.
Yes.
With the what is it? What president was that? With the
Roosevelt,
horse.
Teddy?
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Removing stuff like that.
Yeah.
All those historical landmarks.
The friars destroyed temples, shrines, and banned all ceremonial costumes. All native religions were banned, and instruction in Catholicism was mandatory.
I'm sorry, that's Second Ezra's, Second Maccabees 6 right there.
Get it?
Yes.
Let's get that.
We back
That is
everything up with the
Second
Bible.
Maccabees.
Right, and what's crazy, this is boarding schools too.
Huh?
This is boarding schools.
Yeah.
So literally the same thing they did with Gad, they did with the Mayans or Zebulon.
Exactly. But that's what. Watch this. I'm just setting it up again. We're gonna set it up, then we're gonna knock it down because it's crazy. Because we gotta read
6, 8, and 9.
Actually, let's finish that out. Get that precept.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for man to keep Sabbath days.
So they destroyed all the evidence of the Mayans' religious beliefs. Come on.
Or ancient feasts.
Destroyed their temple shrines and banned all ceremonial costumes.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
All native religions were banned and instructions in Catholicism was mandatory. Now, hold on. Go down to verse 9.
Verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles.
So whoever would not get rid of their religious beliefs, come on,
should be put to death.
It wasn't should. They were put to death.
Mm.
This happened during this time, and it also happened to the African Americans too.
So
So-called.
everybody that walk around claiming they're Gentiles don't understand how the Gentiles really did our people.
That part.
Or how we really became Gentiles.
That part, we really did become. You're reading it right here. How these people right here, the Mayans,
right,
tribe of Zebulun, became Gentiles.
But it also
Crazy.
goes to with our people, the mindset that we have. We're always looking for identity, because when you read the Bible, where they get that confusion from, neither
Jew nor Greek, right, bond nor
the
free.
Gentiles, they don't see them as Jews, themselves as Jews.
Exactly.
When we are the Israelite, we are the Jews,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So they don't see that though,
Right.
So they try to find a way to fit in where they're like, okay, if we're not the Jews,
They
we're the
wanna-
Gentiles,
Right.
We're the Greeks, or we're the.
So we get. So you see that they understand the power of being attached to
Right.
God,
But
but because they don't know they are Jews, they see in the Bible the Gentiles get grafted in.
Right.
So I have a chance.
Right.
So the hell that I'm living in right now is only temporary because I get to go to heaven with white Jesus. He's going to accept me
After death.
after death.
And I accept hell right now.
Right.
Crazy
So
work.
that's the mindset, and that's why I was dealing with the brother talking about Gentiles, and that's where his mind was. I'm like, bro, you're Israelite. You
are the guy.
You are the guy. The Bible's speaking
Right.
about.
Cream of the crop.
But they can't wrap their heads around
can't.
it
No, they can't,
because
bro.
they see Jewish people as white people over there, and
how well they live, how much
live,
money they
it's
have.
But they just don't understand the Bible too, because we understand what it says, how that land's gonna be over there. You know
Right.
what I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But they're trying to play this angle or vision that is flourish, and
Yeah.
you know, like our leadership said, they've been out there. That thing is ran down.
Hey, they got pockets of erosion like close to the Dead Sea, like that are underneath the main roads. So eventually, because of them taking all of the salt and everything out of the Dead Sea, it makes the land eroded, and things are starting to collapse. Like the main road is starting to collapse over there. Crazy work.
All right, just read on.
All native religions were banned, and instruction in Catholicism was mandatory. In addition, the Mayans were removed from their homes and forced to work on encomiendas.
Okay.
Shout out to D.
Okay.
Under the encomienda system, the Spanish conquistadors were awarded land grants as well as the services of the natives, who were now property of the landowner.
We just read about that.
Hispanic.
Right.
Yeah. But we just read about that when we were dealing with the Mormons and how they strategically
displaced them.
displaced the Paute people.
Read.
It was at the encomienda where the Mayans were expected to convert to Christianity.
Give me Deuteronomy 28:64.
Now we all know what happened when they refused to convert.
We know, and we're gonna show you history what happened when an oppressor comes in and say, don't do this no more. If we catch you doing this, something's gonna happen.
Right.
It's in history. It's in the Bible. You know, and it only happened to us. All right, read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down.
48.
Verse 48.
Yeah.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
64, sorry.
Verse 64. Therefore, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. Even wood,
the Christianity, the cross,
Catholicism,
and
stone.
Mecca,
Islam,
Allah,
Allah,
Islam. All right, now let's go back to read this.
It was at this time that a Franciscan friar named Diego Landa arrived in Merida, Mexico, to serve in the local monastery of Isamel. It was 1549, and the spirit of the Inquisition burned brightly in his determination to perform his duties. Wherever he went on the Yucatan Peninsula, he destroyed all signs of native religion and administered.
He did what?
Destroyed all signs of native religion.
Watch this next part.
And administered torture whenever natives refused to accept Christianity.
So remember, we just read that the natives were expected to accept Christianity.
Right.
And it said if they didn't do it, what?
And they were administered torture whenever natives refused to accept Christianity.
So wait a minute. So all of these Catholics,
right?
All of these so-called Christians,
Right.
they got into Christianity,
Right.
by a threat of the sword or torture.
And we're a hate group.
And we're the hate group.
Right. Crazy word.
But
you can't make this stuff up.
Why do you feel like you could go somewhere and be like, you know what, you're doing everything wrong, do what I do?
Right.
That part.
Your
like the
way
mental
is wrong.
Mindset to go somewhere like the Mormons did. Now we're over here. Hey, he come from Cuba,
right?
Which already showed you what happened to Cuba before he came over here further to expand more. And he's like, yeah, same thing. Y'all doing all this wrong. This is what we're gonna do. And if you don't do it, you're gonna die. Give me First Maccabees, just real quick. Same curses.
You want
showing you the same
Second
curses.
Maccabees?
First Maccabees 1 and 41.
The book of First Maccabees.
But let's get straight to the point because I know we got short on time.
That's the one I was going to ask you if I can bring out too. First Maccabees,
Well,
chapter
verse
1,
49.
verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Antiochus is one of the most evilest.
Man,
Evilest, man. Evilest.
All of that.
Read.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Oh, look how they separate the heathen
right
from the Israelites.
Right.
The heathen Israelites.
And you notice the heathen, it was no problem. They didn't care.
They didn't care. They better follow.
Right.
This is what they do. You know what I mean? But they also have to make reference that the Israelites also consented.
Wait. One quick thing. Verse 42 again.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave.
And everyone is expected to leave their law. See, again, it goes back to the same man using the same tactic. These are the Greeks here. Now we're talking about Christians. Right. We're talking about Spanish. We're talking about the British using these same tactics.
Right.
Where did they get the tactics from in the first place?
The Bible.
Okay, all right.
Nothing's new under the sun.
Okay, I'm just all right.
The Bible
all right, I'm just
explains
making
itself.
sure. Right.
We don't have to go nowhere. We can say right here and give you a whole history lesson just right here.
Man.
Read. Wait. Jump down to the part where
read verse 48. Can I read it?
Yeah.
Verse 48, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law.
And what's going to happen over time? They forgot their law. They forgot who they were, their language, how they dress,
right?
How they speak, how they conduct themselves amongst each other.
Officer Joe. These folks wicked as hell. They know that being circumcised is one of the most direct things that you have to enter into in order to be under the covenant. Right. And this was the old covenant back then, right?
Right.
It says if you did not get circumcised, you were cut off. So that's Judith 5:19, where it goes into if they sin against their God, we can overtake them. But if they come into their back to their God, then we're going to be overrun. It's the same thing.
Hey,
but that's the reason why they had to do it in that order. Remember when we read earlier about the Mormons, they strategically, they knew by taking that power, they had to take our power from us before they can go full force into taking us over.
I got you.
Right.
Verse 30.
Can I,
yeah, that's
you finish that. Finish that.
Yeah.
And change all the ordinances. I just wanted to read that because they changed the day of worship, Sabbath, changed it to Sunday. The new moon, they changed the new moon from the moon being full to being the dark moon.
Right.
They changed when the new year started. They changed Christ when he was born
right
to the middle of winter.
Dedication they gave you Christmas.
Right. So, and they changed all the ordinances.
Read verse 50. That's where.
Verse 50.
That's the point right there.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
We just read that.
And we just read that.
That's heavy.
Just to show you that, guess what? These are the curses. These are the things that we went through as a people. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Wait, so So we're reading the Bible about the Israelites.
In the time of the Greeks.
In the time of the Greeks.
Right.
But on the screen, we're reading about the Latinos.
We're reading
in
about
the time
something
of the,
that wasn't that long ago.
Right. I mean, like what other clue do you need?
They playbook ain't changed.
It has not.
I just want to know, and I'm going to keep throwing that out there, what other nations
exactly
went through any of this? Show me documentation of any other nation going through this.
Hey.
And the same people that did it to the Paiute are the same people that did the Conquista. It's the same people.
Thank you.
Go to chapter 2, verse 10.
That's more the Spaniards, though.
Right.
Right. So it's the different.
But their forefather is Esau.
It's Esau at the end of the day.
Right.
And I'm gonna talk to Deke before I say that, because there was a thought in here. I was like, let me check.
Read that for him.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom?
Every nation then had a part of us.
Right.
Like we just said, the playbook been the same from the Mormons to the conquistadors. Everybody else has had a part in us. The Germans, the who else is over there? The Polish. Whoever.
Oh, don't forget the other nations too. That's part of that confederacy.
Exactly. That's that Psalms 83.
Mm-hmm.
And gotten of her spoils.
Everybody has gotten of our spoils. Everybody has come in and spoke some type of peaceable words.
Right.
We're brothers. Show me how your land operates, and then they destroy us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has done that on some level.
So when this, I don't want to say too much, but when this Edomite came over to South America, they're using the same strategies that the Mormons did.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go ahead and let's go out to click the. Actually, let's finish reading this. Scroll down. I think we don't have to read the whole thing. Scroll down. Let me make sure.
That paragraph was heavy.
Yeah, let's go back up. We'll finish with that paragraph.
Time and time again, he sought out more forceful ways to eradicate their pagan religion.
Right.
Then, in 1562, Diego Landa found 40 hieroglyphic books of amazing Mayan historical value. He ordered them confiscated and burned.
Wow.
In minutes, valuable evidence of Mayan literature, beliefs, and history were reduced to ashes. At the prescribed time of the burning, Landa stated that the books contained nothing in which there was not to be seen superstitious and lies of the devil. At that moment, historians lost an archaeological treasure of amazing value. Today, only 4 of these codices or books still exist.
Now go to the next paragraph, because that is the point that I'm trying to.
Come on.
I want to make. Go down. Wait. Our knowledge. That one. Yep.
Watch
this.
Our knowledge of the ancient Mayans comes from a variety of sources. Incredibly, the most important of these sources is carefully written book by Diego de Landa entitled
Go ahead. Go. Sorry.
Retaliation de las Causas.
Relación de las cosas de Yucatán.
That part right there.
Que lo que.
In this richly detailed manuscript, Landa vividly describes the customs of the Maya that he encountered upon his arrival in the Merida on the Yucatan Peninsula. Landa describes how the Mayans dressed, what they ate, and how they were educated.
And what they ate.
When and what they ate and how they were educated. He also wrote about the laws.
About what?
The laws.
The what?
The laws.
So what were we keeping?
So
what were we keeping? How did he know? Watch this. Read on.
Punishment administered. Religious ceremonies. Government.
Our feast days.
Government.
Our order.
And systems of commerce.
How we conduct ourselves as a government.
Laws, statutes, and judgments.
Laws, statutes, and commandments, judgments.
That's
all
heavy.
that. He knew.
That's heavy.
So watch this real quick. Psalm 64 verse 8. I just saw something real crazy right now. Because it said that what was his name? Diego. Yeah, Diego went through, and he destroyed all of our books. Right?
Is that the first time they did that?
No.
So the playbook keep repeating.
It keep repeating.
Bro,
So
that's
so
what I'm
so
saying.
look. So watch. He goes through. He destroys all of our stuff.
Right.
But then he turns right back around and rewrites it.
Come on now.
It didn't get lost.
Right.
You see how the Most High used this idiot?
But he wrote his story.
He did. But guess what? We only have to hold fast till it come, because we still got this Bible, so we still cooking. Now read verse Psalm 64 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
See, go ahead.
All that see them shall flee away.
See, watch this. He thought that he was doing something bad against us, but what he was doing was really meant for our good the whole
Right.
time, because the son of perdition has to be revealed.
Right.
You gotta know who this let me use good words, Edomite is.
Right.
There we go. I almost went off the rails.
Peaceful words.
Yes, you gotta know who this Edomite is in these last days. All right, there we go.
Hey, and I just wanted to point out, Deacon did a class on Sabbath, right? The Captain Abiel brought the same thing out. I think it was the Native Americans they used to have documented books, and it was on paper, right?
Yeah.
You remember we did a show about that, about the whole culture, the whole culture of what was going on in South America and how we kept our documents, how we had the gold sold into our clothes, how we had commerce, how we had whole cities built up with the aqueducts and all this stuff.
Right.
All that was it was taken down.
And then when they wrote their history, they paint us as savages.
Yes.
They say we don't have history.
Yes.
We didn't have literature. We didn't have no order or government.
Because they came out the womb lying.
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
Lie. Now watch this. Just read the first part of
The bottom one?
Yes. One
of the most important descriptions Londa left us was that of the Mayan calendars.
Boom, watch this.
Let's
go to the book now.
Do they got a screenshot?
Yeah. Get the screenshot of the moon.
Page 59.
Did you get that one? If you didn't, I don't think he probably did. I thought it's the little one. You might not have it because this is the last.
I'm sending it right down to the group, yo.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy how you're gonna destroy everything and rewrite. Oh yeah, but by the way, this people did this, that, this.
Well, how did they get rid of the cultural autonomy of the Native Americans?
Right.
Hey, while they get that too, those of you that are watching, I'm gonna post that radio show in the chat where Deacon went into great detail about how our cities were set up and versus what we're seeing here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Yucatan before and after the conquest.
Yucatan.
They had their perfect year like ours, of 365 days and 6 hours, which they divided into months in 2 ways. In the first, the months were of 30 days and were called Yu, which signifies the moon. And they counted from the rising of the new moon until it disappeared.
Damn. So wait.
Drop a bomb.
Oh my God.
Wait, right there.
Oh my God.
I don't rip the
Wait,
page
right.
of my Bible.
Oh my goodness.
Go get the page.
My
Go get
goodness.
the precept, man.
Oh Jesus.
They said that Latinos not Israelites. Come
Jesus.
on,
Jesus
they
is
kept
Lord.
the same thing. But look at how they identified what the new moon was.
Right.
The new moon was when it was bright
Until
when
it
it
disappeared.
disappeared. So start the count.
Now let's get the Bible to back it up.
The book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
The sign of the world, the beginning of our months, our feast days, everything. Read.
From the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
A light that decreases in her perfection.
How do you get around that?
You can't get around
It's
it.
a light.
You can't get around it. That's why right here they said what? From the rising of the new moon until it disappeared. Go ahead. I see you guys.
From the moon, or no, the month is called after her name.
Yes. So guess what? Guess what the so-called Latinos was following? The moon.
In the first, the months were of 30 days and were called Yu, which signifies the moon. They
They
try to recreate our playbook.
Wait a minute. The Israelites were the ones that used the moon for
Everything.
sign of the feast and all of that.
All that.
We're talking about Latinos over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So who the Latinos is? Huh.
That's crazy.
Hey, real
Interesting.
quick. So I posted that class in the chat. It's called the Power Hour Plus, Israelite Civilization in America's Indigenous Reign. So check that out when y'all get a chance, because a lot of the stuff we're bringing out here is also in that class with a
All
little more
praises.
detail.
All praises.
Can I grab one thing real quick?
We're
something?
short on time.
Yes, sir.
We gotta go to some of the letters because we're gonna connect
all of
the
it
same
together.
thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're gonna get actual letters that they wrote. I hate saying that word.
Majesty.
Yeah, that's how they refer to them.
Okay.
We're just
Letters that
higher
they,
ups. They're higher ups.
the letters they wrote to the devil.
The powers that be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So this is a picture of it in Maya that they wrote to the king. Right. So we'll go to the next one. We're gonna actually read the highlighted part. This is where the line kind of strikes because we got 2 more pages.
Sacred Catholic Majesty, after we learn the good in knowing God our Lord as the only true God.
So watch how they're wording their words, because at this point they've been colonized to the point where they're doing what they're supposed to, but in these letters is gonna express, we're doing what we're supposed to. Why we're feeling all of this pain and suffering that they're bringing on us. Watch this. Go.
Leaving our blindness and idolatries, and your majesty as temporal Lord, before we could well open our eyes to the one and the other, there came upon us a persecution of the worst that can be imagined, and it was in the year 62, on the part of Franciscan religious, who had taken us to teach the doctrine, instead of which they began to torment us.
So he went to go teach the doctrine. He's like, molded. Read.
Hanging us by the hands and whipping us cruelly, hanging weights of stone on our feet, torturing many of us on a windlass, giving the torture of the water, from which many died or were maimed. Is that all you wanted?
Read on.
Being in these tribulations and burdens, trusting in your majesty's justice to hear and defend us.
So that's
that
Lamentations.
goes back to that Lamentation.
Golly, that's Lamentations.
Now, peep it. They were good before they got there.
Right.
But since they got there, now they got to go and turn to a nation that don't give a damn.
And that's the same thing they did to the African Americans.
And that's what we're gonna tie everything back to. Because when you look at these years, guess who's in slavery too? Guess who's going through
the same time.
thing.
In a different
Black, Latinos, and Native Americans in different parts of the earth
at the
going
same
through,
damn time.
Same damn time.
Around those dates that we covered earlier, right, between 1851 and 1858. A couple years later, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed.
Yep.
It happened to the blacks.
Crazy.
So,
all right, next page. All right. We'll kind of skim through it because there's a lot.
Not content with this, the religious, the friars, the royal justice held at many a solemn auto of inquisition, where they seized many statues, disinterred many dead, and burned them there in public, made slaves of many to serve Spaniards for the 8 to 10 years, and placed the Sambanitos. The one and the other gave us great wonder and fear, because we did not know what it all was, having been recently baptized and not informed. And when we returned to our people and told them to hear and guard justice, they seized us, put us in prison and chains like slaves in the monastery at Merida, where many of us died. And they told us we would be burned without knowing the why.
The why. Like, why are you doing this? We're doing everything that you wanted us to do, and you're still having fun because it's in the devil's mind, their spirit to do this. If they're going to do it against their own people, they're for sure going to do it against us.
It's that perpetual hatred.
Perpetual hatred. Read.
At this came the bishop whom your majesty sent.
So he sent someone, right? Watch this. Read.
Although he took us from prison and relieved us from death and Sambanitos, has not relieved us from the shame of the charges that were made against us, that we were idolaters.
For serving the Most High God.
The laws.
human sacrificers, and had slain many men, because at the last he is of the habit of San Francisco and does for them. He has consoled us by his word, saying that your majesty would render justice.
He's saying that, hey, don't worry, everything's going to be good.
You good.
Just right to the majesty. We're going to render justice. Agree.
A receptor came from Mexico and made inquiry, and we believe it went to the audiencia, and nothing has been done. Then came as governor Don Luis de Cespedes, and instead of relieving us, he was increased our burden.
Damn.
Isn't that like during the time of Maccabees?
Yes.
When the king sent like his governor or something like that, I might be butchered. Same.
And in
people,
Exodus,
bro.
we just
And
got out of
Exodus.
Passover. They put on more heavy burdens.
Bro.
Taking away our daughters and wives to serve the Spaniards against their will and ours, which we feel so greatly that the common people say that not in the time of our infidelity were we so vexed or maltreated, because our ancestors never took from one his children, nor from husbands their wives to make use of them. As today does your majesty's justice, even to the service of the Negroes and mulattoes.
Mulattoes mixed with African. So guess who was in the premises in that time?
Oh my God.
That's that Jeremiah 51.
There it is,
and
right
that's
there.
that 50:33.
Yeah, 50.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the precept we're gonna get next. And then we're gonna come to an end because we're not doing this plus.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33. 33.
Yeah.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
We're oppressed together at certain periods of time in life in different areas at the same time.
Right.
And today, fast forward, still in different areas, but we're oppressed together in the same ghettos, slums, hoods, barrios, same curses.
So just as we're reading about torture and death here at this particular time in the Mayan country, right, the Aztecas country, think about what was going on literally at the same time. So one Israelite in Mexico, right, could have been getting tortured at the same time as a brother and sister in Mississippi or Alabama at the same time on a cotton field.
Right. And the whole thing, too, with this, the CCOT, they're sending us over there right now. It's the same thing. They did this, and they wouldn't tell them why.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
You got innocent brothers being deported to a country they're not from.
Right.
Put in prison.
Innocent.
And then they're not telling them, why am I here?
Right.
The hell is this?
The allegations aren't true. Crazy work.
All right, go to the next one. We're going to fast forward. Go to that highlight. Kind of read fast.
And so, with
you get the atrocity. No other nations.
It's in Daniel.
Daniel
Yeah, it's
7.
in Daniel's.
And so, with the power they claimed as ecclesiastical judge, powers they claimed, and that which your justice gave them, they set about the business with great rigor and atrocity, putting the Indians to great tortures of ropes and water, hanging them by pulleys with stones of 50 or 75 pounds to their feet, and so suspended them by pulleys, and gave them many lashes until the blood ran to the ground from their shoulders and legs. Besides this, they teared them with boiling fat, as was the custom to do to Negro slaves. With the melted wax.
So wait. We can't go by that.
Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Read that part
They
again.
took the playbook from Judah.
Right.
Come on, man.
Dang.
Come on.
Besides this, they tarred them with boiling fat, as was the custom to do to Negro slaves.
So what does that say?
Willie Lynch.
We went through the
They
same
were oppressed together.
Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans went through the same damn thing, man.
At the same damn
At
time.
the same time.
It's still
So
happening
how?
today.
And these are the curses in the Bible, and it's still happening today. So
it-
how you gonna say they're not the Israelites or Mexicans?
Right.
And
Stop
they're
the
not
cap.
the Israelites. Stop the cap.
If that's the custom to do, Willie Lynch's letter didn't just come here to America.
No.
Nah, hell no.
That was a
No.
playbook.
That was the playbook.
Yes,
Bruh.
Yes,
The
that's what-
custom.
oh, it goes deeper. I can't go that deep though because it's gonna take a lot of time. So we gotta keep going. Go.
With the melted wax of lit candles dropped on their bare parts.
And you know what parts that is.
Yeah, the bare parts.
All this without preceding information or seeking
All right,
first.
Scroll down to the other highlight. Gotta speed through. Sorry.
From all which and much more I cannot tell your majesty, for the prolixity great harm to the Indians resulted. For seeing the things they fled many to the forest. Others hung themselves in despair. Many others were left wounded, without hands or feet. And many others died of the tortures inflicted. Thus the whole country was afflicted, aroused, oppressed, and maltreated, until last August the bishop, Don Fray Francisco de Toral, arrived, named by your majesty as prelate and pastor for this province, who took on himself the matter and the state of things he found, and before whom I, in the name of the Indians, asked relief.
Think of all that rotting flesh.
Go to the next one.
The rotting flesh and the blood. That thing probably was stinking, man.
All right, go up to the top. All right, and then highlight it all.
All this put the friars to great pain, knowing the wrong they had done, without order or justice, and thus they tried in every way to find faults in the Indians.
They try every way.
They search out his iniquities. That's that song.
That's what the Mormons did. They disguise and then try to blame it on them for all the attacks.
Hey, that's Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin. Guess what? It happened to the black, Latinos, and Native Americans. Read.
To show that it had all been necessary. To this end, I am advised that they secured proofs by rewards. The Alcalde mayor presented witnesses to testify that he was a good governor, speaking in his defense and that of the friars, and declaring that the punishments had not been severe, and the like.
Lying.
Desiring to excuse themselves before your majesty, holding themselves not guilty.
Not guilty, yep.
And knowing that it would be necessary to lay the facts before your majesty, they took pains to get statements in their favor, saying that it was all in the service of God our Lord.
Who was it in the service of?
God our Lord.
And who?
And your majesty.
But they were torturing people. They were torturing people to get those good reports.
Read.
And that they were not guilty.
Holding themselves not guilty.
Let's get that. Let's finish that out. We're going to get 2 more precepts.
Seeking to do you wrong, that you might not give remedy.
Damn.
Bruh.
Let's get the atrocities.
Daniel. The book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by the departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, curses poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
Because all this is that's happening to us, brothers and sisters. The black, Latinos, and Native Americans, I'm going to keep saying that.
Right.
It's because we sinned against our God.
That's it.
Our God. No one else's God. Read.
And he hath confirmed by his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven,
under this whole world, because guess what? We were scattered amongst all nations. We were scattered among the whole world. And in every part of that world, we had to go through atrocities, affliction, persecution. Read.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Upon the nation of Israel. That's why I keep having that stance of, show me documentation that this happened to any other nation. Matter of fact, since the Bible says this is going to happen to the children of Israel, guess what? Latinos and Native Americans are the children of Israel.
That's right.
And blacks.
Hey, show documentation where they didn't get reparations because the so-called Jewish, man, they got reparations.
And the Japanese.
And the Japanese. And the Brits, when they lost
they
their
showed
slaves.
They showed
that was just paid off in 2015.
That's right.
So they're getting reparations for their losses.
Of property.
Our reparations ain't come yet, but it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
So the last precept.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
To go right there at the end of this, of the literature, it says majesty, and that they were not guilty seeking to do wrong. Bro, like this crazy work. There's way more, but
whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And
go ahead.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord.
Blessed be the Lord. How is it blessed be the Lord? Read that part again.
Saying that it was all in the service of God our Lord.
Blessed be the Lord. By the way, we ain't guilty. Read.
For I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Because guess what? At the end of the day, of our brothers and sisters' blood, sweat, and tears, on our backs, we built the wealth for this world.
Right.
We're the number one dollar in this world.
Right.
If we kept God's laws, if all of Israel kept God's laws, this whole economy will crash at the end of the day.
That's facts.
And that's why, I'm going to get you, that's why we got to understand, and we got to come back to the knowledge of that at the end of the day, for us to get out these curses, it's not going to just take the blacks to rise.
Right.
It's not going to just take the Latinos.
Right.
It's not going to just take the natives.
Right.
It's going to take all three of those, the 12 tribes of Israel, to come back
Scattered
together,
abroad.
that scatter abroad in every nation, not just in America, not just in South America. You saw what Bishop just showed on the Sabbath, how we got to go to these islands now because we were scattered there too.
Yep.
The work don't stop, and we got to go get there.
And how he pointed out that there's more out there
than here.
Man.
Right.
Hey, this when he said that, I was like, all praises, because that's the spirit that was on me. I was like, yo, the 11th hour is not going to be here.
No.
Because I was exposed to that from my second quest. When I went out there and I was like, yo, the way the people was receiving it, the stuff that they're seeing and going through compared to out here, we're spoiled out here. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Right.
So seeing them going, I'm like, this is where the people's going to come in like a floodgate on the 11th hour. They're going to be like, yo, I'm feeling these things right now. Bring him back now.
Right.
That's where the 11th hour is. It's not going to come from America.
Crazy.
But guess what? He's sending the prophets from America to go out there.
That's it.
And that's why he put the bishops in the spirit.
That's right.
Prophecy's being fulfilled.
He said, stop keeping Passover here. Spread out.
Yeah.
Passover.
On a positive, Deuteronomy 33 and 29. I just to end positive, right?
Right.
Because we know we went through all these atrocities. This is more, when you read the curses, it said these curses would be upon us for a sign. This is all just to identify that you are that special to God, that he had to fulfill his word on what happened to us. And there's also promises of what's going to happen, right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 29.
Right, read.
Happy art thou, O Israel.
Though all these things happened to us, though we went through these afflictions, though they put candle wax on us, though they tarred us, they beat us down, they tortured us. He said, happy art thou, O Israel. Read.
Who is like unto thee?
Who is like unto you? We read it in Daniel. No one suffered what we've suffered. So no one's going to be blessed the way we're about to be blessed. Read.
O people saved by the Lord.
Because we are going to be saved by the Lord, delivered from the land of the north. Just like we were in Egypt, so shall it be in these last days. Read.
The shield of thy help.
Because God is the shield of our help. God is watching all these things. Read.
And who is the sword of thy excellency?
Because we don't have to pick up a literal sword. We've got a sword that cuts deeper than any two-edged sword. Read.
And thine enemies shall be found liars upon thee.
That's what's happening. They come out of the womb lying. Our enemies are found liars unto us. Read.
And thou shalt tread upon their high places.
They built up these high places. They said, let us return and build up the desolate places. God said we're going to tread it down, put them underfoot. We just got to hold fast. Like you said earlier. Hold fast to what we got. Don't let it go.
That's it.
That's all we can do.
So he that leadeth us to captivity will go into captivity.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 10. Verse 9.
So we're going to leave it on this note right here. Because everything we read was about what? Captivity.
Right.
Oppression. Coming into our homes, disturbing our peace.
Right.
To oppress us. For no reason, like they say. We didn't know why. We have no explanation why they was doing what they were doing.
Right.
That's it.
Read.
The book of Revelation, 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
If you have an ear, hear this.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
The Bible says everyone that had a part of it, that had their hand in captivity, slavery, they're going to feel that same judgment. Read.
He that killeth with the sword.
Through all the affliction and the killing of our babies and the elders and the men and the women for no damn reason, you will have that fire too. Read.
Must be killed with the sword.
Read.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
This is the patience that the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we got to have.
That's right.
And we got to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments in order to obtain that thing. All right?
That's
That's
it.
gonna be
Yes,
it,
sir.
man. We had to cut that. Had to cut a lot of stuff.
We're going to do
All
some quick house
Yeah, go
cleans.
ahead, IT.
Hey, so if you enjoyed the show, make sure you drop a fire emoji. Make sure you share it for those that may have fallen asleep so they can catch it tomorrow when they get up, right? Also, donate to the Booster Club, right? We got the email, fundraising@israelunite.org, or text GIVE to 646-982-3858. Now let's get that QR code up on the screen. Help us out on IT. Scan the QR code. Let us know how we did. Let us know how we can improve. We'll give you a couple seconds to do that. We appreciate all the feedback that you give us. We do take everything into consideration so that we can produce better shows.
Talking about feedback, if you enjoy Benson in the booth
Benson
this
in the booth.
episode,
Snap.
put 100 in the comments. Come
Benson
on
in the
now.
booth.
Snap. Yo, they let me out. Also, follow the Power Hour Plus on Instagram, all right? We're going to kick back up the reels from these past shows, get some content out to you, all right? Follow us. Let's help get us to 2,000 followers on Instagram, all
That's
right?
it.
Awesome.
There we go. You had it. You was right
Yeah,
on point.
that's
You
it.
was right there.
Hit that thing, man.
Hit that QR code. Donate to the Booster Club. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we got a land blitz this weekend coming up.
Man.
So help us reach our goal, y'all. We trying to get our own stuff. We trying to get our own land so we can do our own thing, all right?
And dwell together.
Right.
We trying to get those amenities back, all right? So anything else? Anything else?
That's it.
Hey, all praises for Officer Job coming in.
Hey, straight up, man.
Shout out to Dickie Joshua for letting us hold it down tonight.
Big rhino here.
Humble.
All praises, all praises.
Go ahead, Officer Joe.
Hey, so that's gonna conclude it. And what did I say?
Officer Joe, what you got to leave it with the
energy, man.
energy,
With
bro.
that, man.
You gotta come
bro,
on,
you
bro.
can't- you can't with the fire,
A
bro.
1, a 2, 3. Okay, go.
Hey, so that's it. Hey, Power Hour Plus.
Yeah.
And hey, until next time, Lord's will, our fire deacon Joshua is gonna be back to bring us some more crazy mysteries.
Roy.
Shalom.
Shalom.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, one nation, one nation. This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza. We one nation, one nation. This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, one nation, one nation. This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza. We one nation, one nation. It wouldn't be Israel without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride, cause we next to kin. We ain't gotta tell Esau to let's be friends, cause we above all nations and we better than them. We the salt of the earth, ayy, ayy. And we been king since birth, ayy, ayy. We put the kingdom first, ayy, ayy. And they gon' get this work, ayy, ayy. We was chosen, not cause we the most of the people. Few in numbers, but we over the people. We gods of this earth, we ain't supposed to be equal. Stop playing, you emotional people. The good gotta triumph over the evil. So my foot's on the throat of the eagle. Their tongues will confess that we the people. Cause my nation ain't never been feeble.